What's good, boys? Appreciate you guys tapping in once again, okay? You already know what the fuck is good. We did a host episode, but we brought our friend along, Kane Wav.
Taking over, yes. Man. Yo, we're gonna talk about some real hot shit today. You know, we're gonna talk about masculinity and staying empowered.
Yes.
You know, getting right. Wake up, smell the coffee.
It felt right, you know, and I think this was your 4th time back.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing some host episodes with some special guests moving forward, talk about some really cool topics, give you guys that value. But yeah, shout out Kane for coming by.
Love.
And of course, we can never forget, shout out the family at Bodog, baby. This episode is powered by Bodog Canada. We love you guys. Let's get into the EP.
They know that I go flip mode when I bust the rhymes. Man's on a different thing, man, I told him 100 times. I did a bunch of crimes, and none of them were done for the vine. So you can take that bullshit and stick that where the sun don't shine. The summer's up, it's about to get real cold. Late nights in the studio with the bros.
Welcome back to the MVH podcast, Money Buys Happiness. Guys, before we get into it, I'm going to say one thing. If you're sending 10 plus DMs without getting a response, stop. Just stop.
And if you look in your DMs, there's any DMs that have the 9+, which means that there's over 9 messages in a row, don't open it.
Stop. You got to stop. Okay, you got to know when to.
There's the push and the pull.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The push and the pull.
Yo, okay, what's up, bro? What's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Nice to see you guys again.
Appreciate you, bro.
We got my boy Kane back here. I think this is the 4th time.
4th time, bro.
Yeah.
From day
Come
one.
on.
We're
The
just
growth
gonna
has
go
been
at it,
impeccable.
man.
It's undeniable.
I'll give some context here, no?
Yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen Kane on a previous episode.
Of course. I mean, Kane's a G. I don't even know. I can't even explain what he does in terms of like a bio. I just know that you're a fucking entrepreneur that is adapting every day.
Keep it real.
I can't
Yeah,
even
thank
keep
you.
up with what you're doing, to be
appreciate it,
honest.
brother.
That's why I wanted to have you.
Yeah.
And I think that this episode is going to be sick because like we're just trying to have conversation now. We're just trying to have different topics. And if you haven't checked out Kane's story already, we have a few episodes on him, so definitely check it out.
Appreciate it.
But I'll let you describe maybe a little bit about what you've been doing for the last little bit.
What I've been doing, I fell in love with passive income.
Yeah.
And I started growing. I learned, you know, because if you look at my previous stories, everything was very quick. It happened relatively quick. So I've been learning every year. It's been just growth and learning, getting used to money and all this stuff. And I just really learned, I'd say my biggest takeaway from 2022 was how to build systems, to build, like systems and relationships are what run companies. And I realized that passive income is the real freedom. That's how I retired my mother this year. That's how, you know, I've changed my life completely and learned to work smarter, not harder. You got to work hard in the beginning, but keep, you know, working smart will get you long term and be able to build an empire. So that's what, you know, I've been working on, just building systems, short-term rental space, marketing, the gamification of education, like gamifying education, teaching kids, you know, how to make money online and be empowered mentally, spiritually, health, you know.
You retired your mom. Like you got to break that down to me because I've seen it online. We haven't had
the
like
craziest thing is that I said it on this podcast.
You said it on this show,
I said it on,
was it on our show?
Yeah, it was on your show.
We said
I
a lot of things.
We'll clip it in.
When I came back from Miami, I was saying, you see that I got to keep working. My mom's still working. My mom's still working, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I really manifested that. And, you know, I believe a lot of people that make money are capable of doing it, but some of them, it's just not a priority. Because you see these guys in the Lambos, you see these guys traveling, you guys see these guys spending $100K in the club, but their mom's still working. And, you know, if you're an immigrant child and your parents, or not even immigrant, like if you're just a child and your parents sacrifice a lot to give you a great life, I believe that the way I uphold myself, I'm a failure if I can't provide for those people that provided for me. So that's why it was a priority, and I did it sooner than later because time's the only real currency.
I see you like I see you call out a lot of people.
Bro, it's stupid.
Because
you can't call yourself a G. You're not a G if you can't take care of your fucking family.
Yeah, and you mentioned something. You mentioned working smarter too, right? And I think a lot of people hear that term, and they just like they don't know what it means. They're like, oh, okay, work smarter. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah,
you know. And I think you've done a good job of that. I think that's something we're learning.
You guys too. I see you guys building multiple empires at once.
And I think when it comes to working smarter, it's about having people around you that you can trust.
For sure.
Because you're gonna have to move on to the next thing, the next business, or you got to adapt to something new, and you need a strong team to withhold what you already
everything.
built.
You can't win.
I think the big piece of it, and like being able to make that transition is being open-minded in the first place, right? Because you hear it, it's like, oh, passive income, oh, anything you do to make passive income, it's a scam, bro. Go get the 9 to 5. You know what I mean? That's the classic way people see it, right? And the same way that, Kane, I'm sure I can imagine for you, because it's been very similar to us, it's a mixture of obviously getting some knowledge from people that you know, look up to, mentors and whatever, or people that you just reached out to get some knowledge from. But also the fact that like there's so much information on the internet. But you got to be open-minded to seeing that 23-year-old guy who's like, I'm a multimillionaire and proves it. And when he's giving like free education, take it.
Yeah.
I like to use the example of Iman Gadzhi. I'm sure you know who he is.
He is a GOAT.
Yeah.
Shout out
So,
to that guy.
so dude, I don't know. I think he's like 23.
21.
There you go.
Bro, he's younger than me.
And the man has like
He looks
a
older
net
though,
worth of
straight
like
up.
30, well, because how he carries himself.
yeah.
But the man has like 30, 40 million net worth. His business, he's trying to build it up to sell it for like 300 mil, I saw yesterday. And when that guy talks, I listen.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Now, maybe I don't agree with everything he's saying or whatever, like, or agree with that's the way you should do business. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about age. And I don't need to pay a university 10 G's a fucking month, to learn. The information's out there, right?
I think people are realizing that now.
100%.
it's
Because
undeniable.
they see
You
people.
this-
Like you're just seeing so many more people.
Look
Like
at
when we
us.
were
Look
when
at
we were in
us.
school, for example, like we didn't see it that much. We saw like Hollywood, you see
100%.
athletes.
Yes, yeah.
But now it's like if you're really looking up to someone's looking up to you and they're following you and they're following your story, and bro, they're not gonna go to school.
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend it if it's not, if the school's not being used as a tool. School's a tool.
I think,
School's not a
and I think
guarantee.
with school, the positive out of school is that you're trying different things. Now you can do that without school though. That's the whole thing.
Books, you could learn much more.
And
from
I think
books,
going
right?
back to it, even working smart, it was the same thing for us. We were just like getting overwhelmed.
Working in the business versus working on the business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro, but again, like
facts.
you have to go out there and seek knowledge for you to
Yes,
keep
yes.
going,
You
right?
have to work hard in the beginning.
you'll hit a plateau, right? And I remember I read 4-Hour Work Week, and that one was like
This guy came into the office, bro. We need to change everything. We're gonna
cap,
change it
though.
all.
we
I'm
hired like
yo,
15. We hired like 15 people that like it was just like.
And
but
look
again,
at look at you guys now. You guys
there's
have
extremes
an automated
too, right?
business growing.
But I even want to talk about, because we got to see like your whole journey almost, right? From when you started as an entrepreneur up until now. And I think there's phases as an entrepreneur when you're growing, right? Like we saw your beginning phase.
Yeah, you guys.
And you were like, I'm going to go hard and invest in myself and make sure people know me.
Literally, the first guy, this guy came to us for a billboard campaign, and I think that like 90% of the people at the beginning were like, "What is this guy doing?"
100%.
And we understood it because we were like, "This guy's smart."
We were doing the same thing.
putting out his image. But then I think in reality, when people look back at that move, like just to give context, guys, I don't know if we'll throw it up. Obviously, we have a marketing agency. Kane, he came to us and he's like, "Yo, I want to just do a billboard with just me on the billboard."
I am the business.
Well, I remember.
They didn't understand it.
No, and me and Ernesto were like, "That's brilliant! Like that's amazing! Like that's the fucking smartest thing ever."
So Kane was pretty much getting really in tune with like his entrepreneurial spirit, and he realized that he can make money on his own if he really wanted to. So this guy showed up at the office. I remember you took off your fucking shirt too. You were jerseyless, jerseyless, just talking about billboards, and bro, like for the stage you were at to drop that much money to invest in yourself, like I already knew that this was a long-term play for you.
Some people see with sight, right? And some people see with vision.
Yes.
And that's the difference. I know that I'm writing a story. I'm making a story, making a movie of my life. So when I look at it, at my funeral, when they look at the moves I made during my life, is it going to be just average moves? Or are they going to be out of the ordinary? You look at, maybe controversial. You look at Kanye West before all the crazy shit, right? Everything he did was like, this guy's crazy. Or like, this guy is, or Elon, you look at the greats. They make moves that people at first
They
don't
question,
understand.
yeah.
and
They're
question.
crazy. Yeah, these guys are crazy. That's what they're thinking.
But that's how, but you have to think ahead, right?
So you went hard, and I still want to talk about this because I think it's super important. You went hard.
Build my image.
You did some articles, you did some billboards, you did radio, you did TV. You
verified.
went off, bro. You really went off. And I think, first of all, I want to know how that played out for you. Like, what was the result of that, right? Because I think a lot of people see people investing in themselves, and they're like, oh, but like, what's that really going to do for
That
me?
was
What's
the best investment I ever made in my life. I probably made 10x, 100x. Off of the money I spent with you guys, probably 100x. Because people don't understand that you control the society's perception of you, right?
It's true.
And people just, and there's certain things you could show, and it's all strategy, right? So I want to show people a certain face, and I credit my social media, my Instagram. My Instagram is a funnel. My social media is a funnel at the end of the day, right? And I'm spitting so much free game here. Y'all, these guys, you're welcome. Listen, for business, when people do business with people, don't get me wrong, none of this is cap. I'm just showing what I show to the world. It's
Yes.
like deciding what I show to the world that's true about me, my family.
Of course.
People, you don't see people posting their family all the time, but what does a guy who loves his family show you? That he integrity, loyalty, takes care of his own. That is great for business. My image, I stopped posting girls, but when I was promoting, I had girls on every single page.
But that worked for the time being.
It worked for the time being,
Yeah.
but you have to adapt and grow,
level up.
right?
Yeah.
So, you see family, you see traveling, you see this guy has money. What does that show you? Someone you want to work with. He's posting inspirational content. He's humble. He posts about when he was broke and how anyone could do it. So when they're seeing that, it's a funnel, and people don't understand. And like, it's connected me to an immense amount of people, and with the women, it helps even more.
Yeah, obviously. Bro. All you need is the check for that.
But
The
you
blue
know
check.
what?
But
you
it's
know
a
what?
funnel.
It's
a funnel.
like you're saying, like, and we've had this conversation. Like, people are using social media for the wrong reason.
Yep.
Social media is literally a sales tool to grow your business and to grow yourself as a business. People use it just to lurk and shit, and it's like that's when you start going fucking brain dumb and shit when you see that. But I actually want to ask you a question, because I've actually tried to go a different route myself in terms of showing my family. You will never see me post my family on social media. Even you post your
And I
family.
respect
Yeah.
that.
I really don't.
I respect that.
And my thought process behind it, like, I'll share it with you, and then I'm curious to hear yours. My thought process behind it was, because I got to show so much of myself on social media, there's still an aspect of my life that it's just for me that I would like to keep private. And if I was going to
100%.
choose any of those, for me, it was my family, right? My really close relationships.
100%.
That was my thought process behind it. And not that I'm right or wrong. That was just the way I decided, to go about it. But I'm curious, for you, how has it worked in the opposite way? Like, you have decided to show your family in I'd say very intimate settings too. Not just like, hey, yo, this is my mom.
Bro,
No.
like,
You're showing like
I'm documenting the process.
bro.
I'm
You're showing like
tears of
text
joy,
messages, like so yeah. Like, what's your thought process behind that?
Well, one, I'm very proud of it. Like, just if I had a Ferrari, every day I'd be posting my Ferrari. I'm proud. Like, one of my biggest things that I have that make me rich isn't the money, isn't the cars. It's my family, my relationship. Like, when people meet my mother and my grandma and they see the way I talk with them, they see how open my mom knows everything, women, everything. And people are like astounded. Like, I wish, I smoke with my mom. We have fun. Like, it took us a while to get there, but now she can party with me. I could have her, like, I want her to live in my house when I'm older in my mansion. Like, I want to live with my ideal life is to literally live with my family, and I could be
That's
myself.
gonna be tough for women, eh?
It's tough, but hey, if you don't like it, get out.
Facts.
A second, so one, I'm very passionate about it. I'm proud of it. So I wear it on my sleeve. And secondly, people buy on emotion. People connect with that type of content.
What's
a lot of
relatable,
people are
right?
going through that, and the amount of messages that I get from our text messages, from showing people our interactions and how documenting my mom's, like her sending me text messages about her, getting accustomed to not working, how this is all new to her. Like, that's motivational content. That's real. Like, no rap cap. Like, my mom's really texting me this. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a whole bunch of reasons. And there's the pros and cons. People know that my family could hurt me. Now, once I get bigger and stuff, they know that I'm sure once I get bigger and stuff, it'll be less location based, everything when I'm posting.
Yeah.
There's the pros and cons, but for me, I'm a family guy.
Yeah.
So that's what I post.
Yeah, I hear you.
So we all have our reasons. There's the pros and cons.
And it makes sense. Yeah, I'm just curious, but I guess for you, it's a big part of your brand, who you are. So like, you're just looking at it in a sense of like, why not show it? Yeah, I hear you, man. You know what it is for us? It's like, me and this guy, we come on this podcast, and we like put our fucking we put our hardcore like heart, soul, opinions,
100%,
ideas
I see.
onto this. You know what I mean? So I feel like we give a lot, and then that's for me personally why I've decided for this time being, and maybe that changes in the future.
But everyone has their own standards, their own internal guidelines when it comes to posting. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I think people have to realize they don't have to post something.
No, you don't have to.
That's a fact.
And
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
just because
how
you're
I
on, like you have a profile, you want to post content, doesn't mean you have to post everything, right? And I think that people still don't get that.
Yeah.
Right. And you can do it strategically, like you just said.
Well, because you get lost. Some people, I think they get lost in the sauce of like, they post something, and if it gives them a little bit of that engagement, whatever, then they just run wild with it. But then this is the conversation that me and him have always had, where you got to detach and also like set a boundary. Like, you can't just be like snorting blow on Instagram to getting you likes. You shouldn't just keep doing that.
Or like
you know
people
what I'm
like
trying to
crying
say?
on the camera and talking about their breakup, like
Yeah.
things like that.
Bro,
you
don't
know
get
what
me
I
started
mean?
on that.
It's
We'll
like,
get into that. We'll
But you
get
know what
into
I
that.
mean? Like, have
Yeah.
a boundary, right? But
Yeah.
to each his own. And if whatever you feel you want to post. But you just got to understand perception and understand.
So I want to talk to you about like family structure in today's society, and like how it's, in my opinion, is being like attacked.
Yeah,
like the classic
masculinity
family.
is being attacked.
I think they don't like the idea of a family.
They don't. You want to know
Because a
why?
family's strong.
So if we go back in time, right, the man always worked, right, and the woman stayed at home and watched the kids.
Yeah.
And the government, before even mortgages and houses and stuff, the government came up with these things. And how do we make all these citizens buy things? Let's create the whole house and mortgages. And that was a whole bank play. The banks wanted people to start getting in debt to own property, whatnot. Then time comes around, they say, how do we get more tax out of the household? Let's push this agenda. And I'm totally for women working and being empowered as a woman. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying to the extreme of it. Now they want to tax both and get more tax out of a household, right? And now your kid's left alone. Where's your kid during the day? Yeah. Daycare, and in these indoctrination systems we call school. And, they're getting, you see the kids coming home arguing with the parents about stuff they learned from school. So now there's no parent really truly raising the kid, and they're in a toxic system that's, grooming them and just encouraging sheep behavior and not to think for themselves and whatnot. So I think, it's a bigger plan just so they can now they're going after the kids with all this sexualization, all this.
It's just that shit's all crazy. Because I even had this conversation with my mom, and I was like, I think the difference is, like when we were kids, let's say we were in elementary school or whatever, I think our parents still had a very strong influence on us. I think like in that time, parents were still raising their kids. I feel like now society is raising kids.
Society, social media, and
social media is raising.
You see what I'm, but I'm saying social media in society, everything in society besides the actual parents. So like you said, the kids go home and they're conversing with their parents and they don't see eye to eye because their parents don't have as much influence over their life anymore.
And not that they necessarily have to see eye to eye on every single thing, because you also I think you want to promote free thought in your child,
of course.
Right? But at the same time, I think the best way for us to get back is to go a little more traditional. And I think that's what happens in the world in general, right? When something goes so far to one side, you need like the extreme to come in to actually end up balancing it. So, let's just say people are so far left these days with these crazy ideologies, right? Yep. And then someone super far right comes in, maybe that's Donald Trump, maybe that's Andrew Tate, maybe that's one of these people. I think that's the reason that's good is not because then they're going to be able to sway everyone's opinion super far to the other side, but it ends up balancing it out because it lets people see a little bit of each side and come to their own conclusions, right?
I think now, just kids are calling the shots with their parent. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. That's fucked up. I agree with that.
This is nuts. That's what I really see happening. Like bossing their parents. Like, what's good?
They should have got beat his children, but
bro, I would have got slapped the fuck out.
Exactly.
So maybe there you go. Maybe we gotta.
I think if we zoom out a little bit,
you smack your kids out.
If we zoom out a little bit, I think there's a bigger plan at hand. All of this stuff is meant to distract us. Yeah. All this stuff. If a society cannot decide between what the difference between a woman and a man is, how are we going to decide what the government's trying to do and put in us? People just forget COVID happened. People forget that all this stuff when we were talking our shit 2 years ago, it's all coming out true as now, and now everybody's ignoring it. And I think there's a bigger, we go back to COVID, we look at the whole bigger plan of things about how they're trying to just absolute control and control the population. We could get into that stuff, but I think it starts with the family, with the household. That's how you disrupt the nation.
So let me ask you this then, in terms of family, because like you said, you mentioned a lot your mom and how she's like a motivator for you, probably the main one, right? When did you kind of take a step in your family and say like, I want to play this role. I want to be this person for my family.
Be the alpha, be the leader.
Which is what you're doing, right? And
as soon as I hit puberty,
I know you don't talk much about your dad and everything with that.
No, my dad wasn't there as much when we were younger, so I had, to be the man in the house.
How was that? Like, how was stepping into that role, even at a younger age? Because even still now you're young to take that role. But I know you started when you were
motivating.
Well, I'm curious if you're open to talking about it. When you say your dad wasn't there, like, in what sense? Like,
so like I wasn't planned. They just had me, and then it was more like,
thank God, eh?
Thank God. I was like, Mom, I'm the best decision you ever made.
Yeah, for real.
I tell her every day. She didn't have to have me, right?
Yeah.
She was my age, actually. She was my age right now.
Wow.
And my mom's 46 now. So it made me grind harder, made me hustle harder, and it wasn't that much of like struggle, just seeing that my mom had to be the man of the family when I was younger, and my mom is actually very alpha. Like my mom is not like.
Well, she had to probably do the
she's
same
not-
thing.
Yeah, my mom's an alpha. Like my mom, she's not like your traditional woman. Like, she's alpha. She gets shit done. She's not sensitive. You know, she's a G.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a G, because she raised me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But she had no choice but to be that, because there was no father in the house. We never really truly struggled. We never went hungry. Thank God to my mom, because she worked her ass off.
Yeah.
But it just made me, you know, and at first it was hatred. When I was younger, I hated my dad. Actually, last year, I became cool with him, and I actually sat down with him. We had lunch, and it was the first time in years. He only messaged me after he saw the billboards on
Let's
email.
go.
He
You
messaged
see?
me after he saw
You
the billboards,
see?
telling me how proud he is. I just ignored it because it was big beef, and you know. But you know, I just realized that life's too short, and like at the end of the day, I realized that I pity him from. He went through his own traumas as a child, and you know, it also at this point when I started making money, it made me grow up and kind of realize that, you know, I don't want to blame him as much as for it. So it's like life's too short, you know, life's too short. But it definitely made me hustle harder, grind smarter, and I'm actually so thankful for it, because God knows where I'd be if I had a father figure in my life.
What would you say to someone that is maybe like is in their teens right now and they're growing up with maybe one parent?
Do it for them, you know, do it for that one parent and hustle harder. And especially if it's a mother, you know, being a single father, yes, it's hard, but you could do it. But being a single mother, right, and having to provide for the family, like financially, and like be the man of the house, that's harder. You know what I mean?
But I think you think like that too because you see life in a certain perspective in terms of like that, like women should be cared for.
Yes.
You
And
know
I
what I
believe
mean?
that they should.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter will have everything in the world. I will spoil her. I'll give her everything she wants. No scrub could come say, yo, let me fly you out to Miami. Like, yo, that's nothing. Daddy does that on the jet. What, you got a jet?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got a jet?
What color is your jet?
What color
Okay,
is your
but
jet?
so okay, but now for your son,
My son will have nothing. My son will learn through struggle, because I believe that one of the best things that a man could have is nothing
Well,
in
yo,
the beginning.
this is what we spoke about, I think not last episode, maybe last episode, but I was mentioning like the fact that we're meeting all these successful people, right? And they all have some sort of like trauma or loss or void
Yes.
when they were coming up, and that's why they made it to where they are.
There's nothing beautiful in just being rich. The beauty is not being rich and getting
struggle.
rich.
Well, that's what we're saying. How many percentage of those successful people are just like they were just successful with nothing bad happening to them, no L's, nothing like that. So do you think that's probably the main reason?
Embrace failure. People are scared to fail. I embrace it. When shit gets hard, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm like feeling like Rocky in the last ring, like last quarter of the NBA finals. Like I get excited by that stuff, because like the bigger problems you solve, the more money you're going to make. A man solves problems. A man works hard. If you look at all the most successful people, they work well under pressure. They work well with people, and they solve problems. So I love solving problems.
we interrupt this podcast to bring you the most important fucking message of all time. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Okay? It is about to be one of the best fucking times in sports. In sports, okay? The NFL playoffs are coming up, bro. The NFL playoffs are coming up.
Cowboys, baby.
Trust, this guy knows. And you know who we're betting with, all right? We're betting with Dog, okay?
Bo Dizzle.
Dog Casino. You already fucking know. And the beauty of it is everyone's like, bro, but the thing is, I like to do same game parlays. But bro, I want to do same game parlays. Well, guess what? Bodog's got the same game parlays.
Same game, baby.
Same game. Who's gonna score a touchdown? Parlayed with the over. Parlayed with the under. Toss a couple. Who's gonna throw this? How many rushing yards is that guy gonna get? Yeah. Same game parlays. We make it easy. And you already know with the NFL playoffs, these players are getting tapped in. It's time to get tapped in. So it's time you get fucking tapped in.
Damn.
No?
I mean, you're giving me ideas now. Parlay ideas over here.
Trust
bro.
me, we don't play
Overs.
around. We don't play around here, man.
Listen, guys, not only that, but Bodog is now offering $400 welcome bonus for all our Canadians that sign up right now.
Yep.
Join us on Bodog. We're killing it. That's $400 they match, okay?
It's free money.
Free money. Put $200. They're gonna match it. They don't care. It's a match thing.
If you saw fucking $400 on the floor, you'd pick it up, no?
And I would match it.
Boom.
Okay, so anyways, you're gonna get 50 free spins as well.
Yep.
Go fuck around in the casino, have a blast.
Yep.
All right. And lastly, why I love Bodog so much is because they withdraw and deposit with crypto, making it super easy, super quick to get your money in, get your money out, and make money.
So with that being said, Bodog, we love you guys. Tap in with the boys, and let's get back to this episode. I agree with that. I think like even when it comes to like somebody having a trauma in their life that like leads them to want to hustle harder. Obviously, everyone's life is different, but I think people gotta find the beauty in those traumas,
Yes.
right? Whether it's like growing up with a single parent, whether it's your parents getting divorced at a young age, whether it's one parent dying, whether it's, crazy shit. I don't know. You've been, I don't want to like sound fucked, but like you've been raped or sexually abused or something, like you had a crazy bad experience at school, something like that. Everyone's is going to be different, but it's a matter of like, how can I embrace that trauma and that moment and like use that as fuel.
It's called delusional optimism.
A lot of people just think that when bad things are happening to them, it's just bad luck, and that's the way their life's gonna go. You know?
Yeah.
And I think instead, if they look at it as more of like, okay, you know what, this bad happened right now.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some opportunity here.
For sure.
Maybe there's some opportunity for me to grow, for me to do something, for me to find more purpose.
It's about perspective, and that's what I tell people.
And that's there it is.
all
It's your perspective,
yeah.
right?
All
and I think it takes you losing a bit to realize like that those are actually wins.
Yeah.
Your first couple, you're like, fuck, like.
No, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough to realize.
So anyone that's out there that's like catching L's right now, like that's literally
That's
an
amazing.
opportunity.
Good for you.
It's an opportunity.
I think
Right?
the reason why it's
Go
so
harder.
much harder today, the reason it's so much harder today for people to see
'Cause they're
a
weak-minded.
trauma, exactly, to see a trauma as an opportunity to grow as a person is because we reward that.
Yes.
We reward people crying. Like we literally, if you go on TikTok, you find a video of someone crying in front of the camera, they're getting fucking tons of views, tons of likes. All the comments are, stay strong, love you, this and that, which I understand that's people just trying to be
and there's a difference between accepting and then encouraging weakness.
Exactly.
There you
And
go.
we don't like accepting it and just saying, okay, you're okay, or it's like, girl, cry as much as you want. Bro, you don't want to work for 3 months.
No, but
stay
that's
home.
actually
It's like-
that's actually consistent across like everything. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
the harsh reality, nobody gives
you're
a fuck.
400 pounds, like be 500 pounds.
yeah. And then
You
and
should
then-
be 600
and then-
pounds.
And then we'll give you a Nike ad.
We're gonna put you on the
That's
cover.
nuts.
Bro,
We're gonna
and
put you
that's
on the
thing.
cover. We're gonna put you on the
So
cover.
it's like that's the thing. I think that's why in today where there's such a contrast. You either have these like hyper successful influencers, like I'm just gonna say hyper successful men influencers who are like super alpha, whatever.
yeah.
And then on the other side of
We
it,
have complete beta.
it's like
aliens.
beta, whatever, 300 pounds, guys who are making mukbang videos of eating
my God.
700
Yeah, I know
chicken
that guy,
nuggets.
yeah.
Like I'll
And
do
we're
that
like-
too, though.
And we're like, yeah, yeah. Okay, it's different to do it once,
No,
but like
no.
that's your whole
But it's also
life
different,
revolves
yeah, when
around
you're
that.
400 pounds and doing it. It's different.
So in today's society, 2022, almost 2023, this will be out 2023.
Yeah.
We need to start, and I said this on the last episode, we need to start showing more love to the alphas, to the people who are trying to do things, rather than promoting like it's okay to be
Feminine.
yeah.
You know what it is though? It's really comes down to just the simple fact that misery loves company.
Yes,
and nobody
that's
wants
true.
to fuck.
They don't wanna be
nobody,
alone. They say,
nobody
yeah,
wants to
good little
work.
community.
Nobody wants to work. No one wants to grind. They want the easy
Disgusting,
way out.
Filthy.
Yeah.
So how do you make yourself feel better when you want the easy way out? Make sure there's people around you that want that
100%.
easy way out.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, so if you have it like that, yeah, you're in a society where it's so much easier to become a follower than to actually stand your ground and say, no, this is what I want to do with my life. It doesn't matter what's happening around me.
And I think even to touch on the so much easier to be a follower aspect, I think that we're in a time now where people are really starting to say, yo, I'm tired of following these losers, bro.
Well,
I'm
listen,
tired
how,
of following
how,
these guys.
How much are you like? How deep are you gonna go? Like, you know, following people or following a society or following a message or a theory or a vision.
Yeah.
When you when you know it's not working, you know you don't believe it, and
Yeah.
you know you're going down. Just because people are going down with you doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's
But that's
true.
society and that's sheep thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
facts.
So it's like, oh, but like, what's the worst that can happen? There's 1,000 people like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's life. You already signed up for life. You're already here.
Yeah, maybe you didn't sign up for it, but you're here.
No, I'm saying you're
But life
here.
will
Yeah.
slap them in the face and they'll realize they have to do something with themselves because
You
health
got
is
the
wealth.
gig.
If you're pushing this fat culture and body positivity, when they are dying from diabetes or whatever these conditions are,
Those companies don't care anymore.
No, but like it's like you as a human will realize, oh, I was in the wrong. I was following
only
the
your
wrong
fault. It's
crowd,
only your
the wrong
fault.
people. It's your fault. When all these, you know, these beta males pushing all this whack stuff, like when they are still living in their parents' basement and like, you know, pushing this stupid ass content, this weak content, and like if they're in their 30s, it's like, yeah, life's gonna slap you in the face. The real like life shows love to men who work hard, and if you don't work hard, you could be as delusional, whatever you want to think. But when
There's gonna
push
be a
comes,
day. There's
when the
gonna be a day.
recession hits, when
Yeah.
you can't buy food to put on the table, that's when You know, that's
Well,
what
there was
people
even
say.
that thing, one of the homeless shelters here.
Yeah. How many meals was it? It was like a big number of meals.
There was a thing with Trudeau. There's a video with Trudeau out there
in the cabinet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the manager or whatever the shelter goes, "Oh, I have so many people coming for food, but actually the people coming for food are actually asking me for assisted suicide as well."
Oh no, that part
Wait,
about this whole.
what?
Let's talk about this.
Wait,
This shit is-
So she comes out and she says this, and then the reporter showed this video to Trudeau, and then the classic response, like, "Oh, I'm here for Canadians."
He just deflects.
I'm here for
That guy is a
Canadians. We're
clown.
doing the best we can, right? But like, how fucked is that? Especially because I'm driving by these shelters and it looks like everyday people. It doesn't no longer look like homeless people.
Yeah. I know
It
what
looks
you're
like
saying.
everyday normal people. Bro.
I seen that. Yeah, I seen them too.
So it's like what, like I said, the game of life. You're in the game. What are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Following everyone is already a risk in itself, where you're probably gonna lose. So if you ask me which path I'm gonna take, I'm already here. Like I said, I'm already here. Win or lose.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
I might try to win. I might as well.
I think that's one big point, but I also think like in terms of the following people and all that stuff, it's like a lot of people, there's the classic debate of like ignorance is bliss. Like
Which I don't agree with.
which
to be honest.
exactly. I don't agree with ignorance is bliss.
I mean, COVID showed us that, to be honest.
literally.
a lot of things
Yeah,
have. I would rather know the truth and be fucking shocked at what's actually
Or
going
disappointed
on.
or sad.
Or
or
disappointed,
The
sad,
truth, yeah.
angry, whatever,
Same. Live a lie.
then just be like, oh, I don't care really what's going on. And then that also like cycles back to the shit that we were speaking about the other day, where it's like, it's cool. I'm the kind of guy, I'm sure all four of us, I know Dean as well. We're all the kind of guys that like we prefer to know and then
Yes.
act accordingly.
Yes.
But at the same time, you got to be able to be in the know, but not go crazy and not let it consume you. Because that's the other thing.
Well, that's why perspective is everything. Because if people knew what was actually going on, everyone would be way more depressed than they are now. But people can't handle
100%.
it, right? Like you guys think
100%.
you're depressed now. Imagine you knew the truth.
Yeah.
It's just it's just denial.
Well, that's why Western
Yeah.
society is a failed society, and I think it's going downhill, and that's why I'm out.
Yeah.
That's why, I'm going to have my fun here. I'm going to go to my clubs here. I'll drive the Lambos in my 20s. But best believe that when the time comes and I want to have a family, I'm not raising a family in Western society. By the time now, 10 years from now, look at what's happening now. Look at the rate that everything's happening. We're going to have no freedom. We're going to have no say in what we do. That's why I'm already, getting property in different countries with geopolitical shields, I guess you could call them, and tax havens and stuff, because this place is horrible in terms of the government that runs it.
you only really realize until you leave.
And when you make money.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, okay, so I'm curious, you say Western society, it's a failing society. What place in the world would you prefer to raise a family?
Fuck, a lot of places, bro.
No, I'm curious.
Europe, Latin America. I want my goal is to have multiple villas. I'm looking at Costa Rica right now. We just purchased property in Costa Rica. We're looking at Nicaragua. Nobody could touch you in Nicaragua because they have an embargo with the States, and we're tied in Nicaragua. We have a lot of contacts there. They can't touch you in Nicaragua, right? It's beautiful. It's dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You could live off the land. So let's say, Black Swan event happens. You could live off the land there. They're actually crypto friendly as well.
Yeah.
You can move money there. They have good taxes. It's a safe society. Costa Rica is amazing. God forbid the EMP goes off, our everything goes out. We could live off the land. We can live off of solar. We can have our own water supply. That's the real freedom that I'm looking for. I don't want to depend on a government and have CIBC have all my net worth in one bank account. So when I piss them off for not paying a car ticket, they come seize all my assets.
Or when you donate to the truckers, or when you donate.
I don't believe in owning property in Western society because it's another thing for them to pull to get at you.
You know what? I had this conversation recently. I was saying how I think another message that men like us should start trying to put out into the world for other young men is the ultimate freedom is like controlling your own food supply. That's my
all of our
ultimate.
stuff has so much stuff in it. I want just the natural food. I
That's
want
it.
my whole house on alkaline water. Health is wealth. In the last year, I've spoken to a lot of very, very wealthy people, and I always ask them every single time, what matters the most and what would you tell your 23-year-old self? And they never even mention money. They mention family, time, and health.
Because you know when the money starts coming, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter. One
yeah.
day these yes, we love the grind hustle. Right now we're grinding, but there's gonna be a day where we don't care about money at all. It's not even on our mind.
Yeah.
That's good, and you have to be aware of that, and that's why you also have to love the struggle, because one day you're never gonna struggle about money again if you know where you're heading.
Well, that's usually the first pillar that you got to take care of. You take care of the money, then it's like figuring out the next.
And what
ones.
matters after that: family, giving back, service to society.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm structuring all my businesses to be able to give back to children around the world, to be able to help countries, right, and help my family and empower my people, because the richest billionaires in the world, the ones that are the happiest, are the ones that give back. Because after a certain point, the yachts, the jets, everything, you have a family, it's like, what's next? You're going to get to that point, and you just have to be aware of where you're heading in life and know the problems that you're facing now won't be problems later. So embrace the process. They don't tell you to fall in love with the process for nothing. If the process was that horrible, they would just tell you not to fall in love with the process, get out of it, and get rich.
Do the
But
process,
they tell you to love it.
It's true. But listen. You want to be a real free man? You want to be a fucking absolute alpha in this world? If you can find a way to control your own food and water supply, that is the ultimate freedom. There's no freedom beyond that that's more important, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because then, like you said, King, Black Swan event, seize your fucking assets, blah, 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 whatever. Bro, you got a plot of land with shelter on it, with some fucking yaks and cows and chickens and pigs.
Exactly.
Bro, I'm telling you, Dean, it sounds crazy.
Yo, it sounds
I love yaks. It sounds crazy, but and I'm not saying, bro, you get rich and you have to go live there. But the fact that you have it as an option, that God forbid something crazy goes down in this world, it's not
unrealistic.
Crazy.
If you actually take in the truth of what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, China, TikTok, all this stuff going on, they are taking over our society. Listen. If you look at every, I forget how long, every X amount of years, there's a new global superpower. So before, I think it was the pound. Before US dollar was the currency.
Well, there was the gold. It was the gold reserve, whatever.
No, but I'm saying worldwide.
Worldwide. The world ran on the gold reserve, and then now it is on the US dollar.
Yeah. So now, I don't know if you guys ever heard about BRICS?
No.
BRICS, they're trying to do it.
So it's a bunch of countries. I think it's Saudi Arabia,
Qatar,
UAE, Russia, China, and a couple other ones. They're trying to back their currency by gold and use it for oil and try and to take down North America as a superpower.
Yeah.
So what does that happen to our society when all these countries that provide everything, nothing is made here really. Everything, we depend on everything geopolitically on these other countries that hate us, right? I'm just saying in a world economic state. Yeah. So like these things that we're talking about, like famine, war, nukes, like this stuff isn't unrealistic. And I hate to be like trying to scare anybody, but it's just like you have to be aware of it. And like I said, if you guys knew the truth, you would just go to assisted suicide. Yeah. Like if you guys really knew the tensions going on with, like, people would not be able to handle this. So as a man, yes, I'm still going to hustle hard as if I have 10 years to hustle. But tomorrow isn't guaranteed, but I'm going to make sure that I have options to protect me and my family, because that's my duty when the times come. And how do you do that? Self-sustainability, having money in different countries, freedom of movement, having jets, helicopters, boats, right? And that's the real power. You could be a billionaire, but if it's all in one bank account and they close your JP Chase or they close your TD, you're screwed, right?
Get some yaks.
Here's the
get some yaks, bro, on the farm. Tell you straight.
We're gonna do an MBH hunting trip.
All right, boys, listen up. It is a happy dad takeover. They're literally taking over the world, but the states first. They're literally everywhere. New York, Colorado, Florida, California. The list goes on, and it's growing every single day. Every single day. We got new flavors coming out. We got the value pack, okay? We got fruit punch. We got banana. It's fucking going, it's going crazy. These boys bananas. Happy Dad is taking over the alcohol industry. It's insane.
All right, okay? www.happydad.com/find. All right, you throw in your zip code, and it's gonna show you all the stores nearby that got Happy Dad, all right? So it's easy. Type it in, go grab yourself some Happy Dad, start shotgunning like a loon.
And let's get back to this episode. We're gonna do an MBH yak fucking auction.
So
why yak, bro? You mean elk?
I want yaks. No, you ever seen the yaks? They look like fucking.
Yeah, they're huge.
Like
They're huge. They're like
buffaloes,
bulls.
but they got long
Yeah.
hair.
Oh, okay.
So
Trust,
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes, that is the GOAT. Rich
the
Dad,
GOAT.
Poor
So
Dad.
he tweeted out actually about these bricks. He said, bye US dollar. Saudi Arabia officially joins BRICS. 1974 US dollar became petrodollar. Day after Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, Saudis began negotiations with Russia and China. US dollar is toast. buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin.
Yes, 100%, guys.
Man said US dollar's toast.
It's toast, guys. It's backed by nothing.
Jesus
We could
Christ.
like
It was backed by- it
you
was
look at all
backed
these
by-
crypto shit coins and stuff. The US dollar is the biggest shit coin there is. They print unlimited money of it,
Yeah.
and then it inflates all of our costs as consumers. And now nobody can afford anything. And then now the whole world has the grip on us, and we're screwed.
It was backed by oil because it was the petrodollar. So all oil that was bought and sold in the
US
world
dollar.
had to be done with US dollar.
Yes.
The world needs oil, so that's how it was guaranteed that the US dollar would stay strong. If this happens, which at the end of the day, listen, here's the other
happening.
Here's the other side to it. I don't trust everything I read online. So as much as they may try to do it and they're making it sound enticing and that it's gonna happen, at the same time, bro, Russia will put out any type of propaganda against America. So will China. So will all these guys. So
But Russia's a part of BRICS.
But the thing,
no, but
even-
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying is that at the end of the day, they want to seem like to the world
Like they're gonna
that
take over,
we're
yeah.
taking over, right? So it's like as much as I'm again, this is what it comes down to: be aware,
Yeah.
know that it's happening.
Well,
not
yes.
like and me. This is me personally how I handle it. I don't lift up and just change my whole life because of I'm seeing this happening. I'm going, okay, let me start to maneuver things a certain way so that if this does happen,
gold.
I mitigate my losses.
gold has gone up severely ever since
Shout
this
out
news
Tracks
came out.
NYC. Man was saying buy gold. Like
I'm gonna start buying gold, bro.
No,
Yeah,
buy
I was
gold. I
saying
got
like
bricks of gold
crazy.
You got
because
bricks?
you want to know what happens because when all of our financial, you go to the bank right now. If you have over 6 figures in the bank, go tell them you want to pull it out. See what they say,
Bro,
You gotta order it.
You can. You
business-
got to order.
business
It's all
days,
digital
this and
money,
that.
right?
Yeah.
You don't own your money. It's the bank reserve. They only keep about, I think it's 10% of that your actual money in there. They loan the rest out. That's how banks work.
From my understanding, you're only insured in the bank up to $100,000. So let's say you have $1 million in a bank account.
I think
and
Canada
it gets
may
hacked,
be different. I think Canada may be
Or
different.
more, you're saying, or
Like,
less?
yeah, I think Canada's actually a bit safer safer on paper.
But I'm speaking from apparently. This is what I read, and so don't quote me on it. If someone can find this something, put it in the fucking comments. But apparently, you're only insured up to $100,000. So, am I right? Yeah. So let's say you have $1 million in the bank account. Thank you, Dean. See, he's quick. If you have $1 million in a bank account and there's a black swan event or whatever, they hack the system and they lose all $1 million, the bank will only give you back, say, okay, my bad, here's $100,000 of your $1 million. So, bro, what the
it's not your money though.
Yeah.
They take it as soon as you give
not-
it to them.
not
It's
only
their
are
money
our
now.
bank system's failing.
Yeah.
On top of that, our dollar's failing. As Canada dollar's failing and the US dollar's failing because we run in tandem with them, right?
Yeah, whatever they
and
do,
all
we do.
and who controls the oil runs the world.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're trying to push this green stuff so we don't have to depend on Russia
Electric,
and
this, that,
and UAE and stuff for our oil? Whoever has the oil runs the world. Whoever has all the the grains and all the stuff for energy. China and Russia, like these big superpowers and the guys who own the oil, they run the world. So if they click up together, we're screwed. So you have to be aware of these things. That's why I want to get a villa in one of these countries where our dollar will be worth more, and I want to start making money in those countries. So that way, once the BRICS comes out and whatever dollar that they create comes out, that's when you've positioned yourself for power and success
And to mitigate any losses that you're going to
It's all about diversification. Don't hold all cash. Have some gold, have some silver. And not right now. Crypto still has a lot more to go down, but buy crypto once it's down. That's autonomous. You can move around the world, use your money for it. You know what I mean?
How about the FTX shit though?
But you don't hold it in exchanges. Exchanges are the same thing as the bank.
You're just holding
it's
a
facts.
ledger.
Exchanges it's a ledger, right? There's risks with everything, but you have to mitigate your risk. If your whole portfolio of let's say you have $100, right? You want some of it, about 25% in movable money that you can move in stable coins and crypto. You want right now I'd say about 60% cash and the rest in gold and silver. Because gold, we bought gold. Gold has gone up several hundreds of dollars since we bought it about 8 months ago. Once I started listening from Robert Kiyosaki and anyone. You guys could go listen to his podcast. He drops free game. He wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, the book that changed my life about financial literacy. And all he talks about is macroeconomics. Once you understand macroeconomics, you can understand the world and what's to come.
Yeah.
Imagine predicting 2008 before it happened.
Yeah.
Right? That's where we're at right now. We're like at the tip of the iceberg, but this is going to be worse than any other recession. And that's why I'm excited because I've never been old enough to be able to monetize off of this, right? I think it's the first time in both of our lives where we actually have money. right?
Yeah.
We could take advantage of this and change our lives for the rest of our lives and our families' lives by taking
agree.
advantage of what's about to happen. Change, a lot of people get wiped out. It's horrible. It's sad, but with chaos comes opportunity. Just like the pandemic, how I took advantage of it, I'm taking advantage of what's happening between the world right now.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's crazy that if you just like, if you have gold and shit goes to like shit,
Yeah.
you're like the new king. You're
Yeah.
just the new like top class.
I'm gonna sell everything I own. You're just gonna be sitting on a gold throne.
But it's
When the world goes to
crazy.
shit,
Like
I'm gonna be
like
sitting
your
there.
status just like
Yeah.
skyrockets. Like that's if the world really goes to shits, right? And
But you always just need it just in case. And you could put it in jewelry. You don't need to have breaks. You could wear it.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing about it. Or diamonds. Diamonds are also
Yeah.
good too. They're easy to move around.
Yeah.
Because when people want to move their wealth, that's how they do it, in diamonds, in crypto.
Yeah.
Right? They don't just send a wire to another country. They're trying to be untraceable. Once we get to this all power state,
Yeah.
we got to start thinking now, how do we get out of this?
Yeah.
You
How do
don't,
we
it's better
escape?
to get out of it before it happens than to get out 2 days later after it happens. That's why I'm
facts.
starting.
that's
to look
when
now.
the majority will try.
Well,
and
they
they're
try
all
running.
screwed.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
try running
And
for
they're
the
gonna call us
fucking.
crazy for talking about it months and months. And
Yeah.
I follow billionaires. Like I don't listen to stupid people on TikTok. I follow I talk with hedge fund managers.
Yeah.
Like I ask them what they think. They manage $100 million or more. You know what I mean? And they have real perspectives of the world and what's going on.
That's like
And that's
Kanye.
where I get my info from, right? I don't listen to people who are making $50K a year. Like, you know what I mean? I listen to people where the money is. You follow the money.
Yeah.
In Miami, I follow the money and I shouldn't be in these rooms with these rich people. They just, I know how to carry myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I get my info from, and that's how I act accordingly. And they haven't been wrong once.
Yo,
We got
follow
Robert
money.
Kiyosaki, another about gold. He's saying it's the last chance to buy gold and silver at these prices.
It should double if Russia switches over.
Yeah, that's what he's pretty much saying. That's crazy.
Yeah, because think about it, if Russia starts accepting gold, what do you think is going to happen to the price of gold? If now the US dollar is worth basically nothing around the world, right? Usually you could go, before you go around the world, you had US dollar, everyone would take it.
Yeah.
But now imagine going with the US dollar, nobody's taking it. And now
Which
it's
would
worth
be
less, less
crazy.
and less because our GDP is going to go down and our society is already getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Because they're encouraging people not to work. So
Yeah.
what do you think that does on the macro thing, on the macro level of things? Unemployment goes up. People get lazier. People get weaker. People are fighting over genders. People are fighting over,
Useless shit.
useless shit. So now we're all like fighting on TikTok and man this, man girl, and then they're just like finessing the world and
They're
literally
literally
changing
just
everything
in
in
the
front of
background.
us.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, yeah. Watch my TikTok. Like, yo, you guys are gonna get woken up. Smell the coffee now.
But you know what's crazy? The people that know that's happening are working like the world's gonna end like any day.
Yes.
Like know that's what I realized. Like guys like us, like people we know that have been working hard and they're very aware about what's going on. They are working like the world will end at any moment.
But
Well,
you have to,
we
though.
had a conversation. I mean, this has actually been something that we've always said since day one. Like, we run a social media, we run a marketing agency heavily into the social media side of things. Obviously, our podcast, whatever. Me and this guy have always said, bro, what happens if Instagram and TikTok shut down tomorrow?
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Crazy.
We're done.
You know how many people go out of business fast?
You know what I mean? So you could just imagine literally tomorrow.
But these things are happening,
Instagram's
even
wiped
getting
off.
canceled,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one, and
Way
you're
that
seeing
you
people
get.
get canceled, right? And like you're seeing what that does to their business. So imagine if these social media platforms are literally evil. Like
Yeah.
they're silenced. I don't know if you guys saw what Elon Musk when he took over Twitter, all the files.
he did the
dropped.
files, yeah.
Everything we said was right.
Yeah.
They were
that was
working with the
crazy.
government to censor stuff. Same thing as Instagram. You think Instagram's not doing it? They're bigger than Twitter. You think Instagram's not doing it? 100% they are. If they're in Twitter, they're in Instagram, they're in our
I just don't
news.
understand how no one.
Because it's like, when you catch an L and you just don't want to talk about
But
it.
how many
ego.
L's these people gonna
That's an
catch?
No, but it's
L.
an ego thing.
How
It's
many?
an ego thing. It's
How
an ego
many
thing.
L's until you just say,
But
yo?
it's not even an L. Just like wake up, because you're gonna
No,
probably.
it's an ego thing. You have to
Like,
remember.
you know?
Even
I know.
even bro, you know how many people like. Fuck. not to
I
go to
know,
this conversation.
bro. Trust. We
Like
caught the
in
W.
terms of a huge W.
Revenge never tasted so
In terms
sweet.
of the fucking classic V shot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm not gonna say whatever. In that whole situation, of getting that classic V shot in your arm,
yeah.
bro. Do you know how many people like are now scared of
Yes,
like the shit they're
'cause
reading?
seeing,
They're like, bro,
fatal random death.
Yeah. It can get
and let's
crazy.
not talk too much about it because
Yeah.
we know that they're watching and stuff. And
Okay, I got a question. I got a question. It's a little bit off the topic, but in terms of people failing, Tory Lanez,
Oh man.
his lawyer,
It's failed.
failed. No, he failed.
Yeah, he failed.
He failed. They lost the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of people coming out about it.
You've always had your hands in the music thing, and I know that that's always something that you love to do. You're going to continue to do
Yeah,
whatever.
that's good. That's
Tory
my future
Lanez,
plan.
someone from our city.
No, he's amazing. He's very talented.
So I'm curious what your take is on that. I don't know how much you know about it.
I mean, I
Have you
haven't been following it too much. I just know that if it wasn't on, like, I know that and same thing with that Kanye was talking about, like, there's a certain type of people that run the entertainment industry.
Of course.
A certain group of people, right?
Yeah.
And they have the power to put someone in jail. They have the power to do all this stuff. And I heard the backstory of like why it happened. And
Yeah.
he just went independent and all that stuff. And I could see that there is potential for, for this to just be like one of their moves.
Yeah.
To punish
he's not
someone who's
signed to, like, someone
yeah, and
big
he
that they
talks
can
about it
control.
enough. You could just listen to his music and he talks about it.
says it in
all.
the music, too. Yeah.
So it's like, if you're denying those superpowers, I believe they have the power to do whatever they want with you. Do I know the details on the case and stuff?
I have
No.
some context here. I have some context.
Yeah, I can't speak on whether he is actually innocent, but if he is, free that man. If he isn't, then
But you know
whatever.
what? Quickly speaking to that side of it before we get to the case details, I saw these videos of him. He was like one of the first guys. He did something where he was like, he sold his album for
NFTs,
$1
yeah.
through an NFT.
Made $1 million in like 60 seconds or something.
And then bro, like a week later,
They were reselling
all the
for, like,
fans were reselling those NFTs for like 50, 60 grand. And it wasn't just like a picture of a fucking dog or a monkey.
It was an album.
It was actual an album. So you could
that shook the industry, and
It
now
shook
the
the industry.
superpowers
Yeah,
but what's
don't
wrong
like
with
that?
that?
But he's in this video, he's explaining like, yo, I just did this. I sold 1 million copies.
He's like,
for
screw your
$1,
label.
blah blah
He's
blah,
like-
and now they're selling for 60. And he's like, bro, you don't need a
like, I
fucking
cracked the
label.
code.
I cracked the code. Like you say shit like that. Like I cracked the code. You don't need the labels
I
anymore.
remember that. I think I remember
You don't need the labels anymore. Blah blah blah. You get money. Your fans get money.
So it's obvious then what happened.
Yeah.
So it's like he's saying all this, okay, and then it's like months later, this whole situation comes to be. 2 years after, he's in jail now on like which.
So he got charged with carrying a loaded, unregistered gun and then discharging a firearm in a grossly negligent manner.
but
Okay.
not for bodily
So-
assault.
So he didn't like. They're basically saying he wasn't necessarily shooting at her, but he was shooting.
But the thing is, now
Like,
people are coming out and they're saying
crazy.
there's no evidence that he even shot the gun.
Well, no. So I followed the case a little bit.
Yeah.
And they have no proof.
No DNA
And
on the gun?
they have no eyewitnesses saying that he actually shot the gun.
Yeah.
They had an eyewitness, was a
They did.
neighbor,
It was the neighbor.
and came out and he goes, all I saw was two women arguing. I didn't even see a guy there.
Really?
Bro, crazy. Like, yo, shit that like, you'd be like, okay, wait a minute. How is this even happening? Now he was confirmed there, whatever. Shit where it was even like, she said, oh, he shot her, but then, or he shot at her or whatever. And then she got back in the car with him. It's like, bro, if someone tries to shoot you, you don't go back. You don't go back in the car with them. So many things. At the end of the day, they have, from what I've read and seen, they have no real hardcore evidence that he even held the gun and shot it at her.
But this is the thing. So now imagine we go back to our last topic. What if he had villas all over the world? What if he could have just left? If he was truly innocent, I'm leaving. You're 24 year, I'm leaving.
guy's like, I'm
I'm
outta
bye.
here, bro.
New passport, bye.
Yeah, I'm
but that's
done.
power.
Yeah.
Right? When you're going against those powers, you need to have, why do you think they haven't taken down Andrew Tate yet?
Yeah.
Because he's rich enough to fight them.
He's in Dubai.
Right?
He's chilling. He's like, yo, come
rich.
touch me
He's
here,
in
bro.
the,
He's got
he's in the
bare
Muslim. They're
passports.
not going to touch it. They
Yeah.
can't touch him.
Yeah, it's
But
facts.
that's what I'm talking about, right? So whether
So
he did
true.
it,
I
or,
didn't
and I
think
don't
about
so,
that.
like listen, like it's not a light accusation like shooting a woman. Like I don't agree with
Shooting in
that
general,
stuff if
yeah.
that's true. But like I can't really speak on it. I haven't seen the evidence, so I cannot give an opinion on whether he's innocent or not. But you know what I mean? I do think there is something. There's always something bigger, and he talks about it, and you could see it.
Well, his dad came out after.
No,
Did you
I
see
saw
those
that,
videos?
yeah.
His dad's like, Rock
That was in
Nation,
the court snapping.
Jay-Z, this guy was
Yeah,
going
yeah.
crazy.
And I
man.
know
I'm
that
like,
Jay-Z
whoa.
got that power.
Yeah, Jay-Z has that power.
Okay,
Come on.
that's the
Even Kodak said some shit too.
Okay, but that's the missing piece, right? Is I think it's hard for the average person who's stuck in the fucking info loop to actually realize that they got power like
Well,
that.
because people think everything's by the books.
Because
Yeah.
someone would
Nothing
just
is
say,
by the
"Oh,
books.
Jay-Z is he's just a rapper. What is he gonna do?" Like, they don't even
Yeah.
think
There's
that
a reason
deep.
his label's called Rockefeller. You know who the Rockefellers
Yeah,
are?
literally.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if it's not right there in front of
Yeah.
you, those are the people that literally run the world.
Yeah.
And his label's called Rockefeller.
Yo, you know what's crazy?
Records.
I was
Rock
talking about this, and I was
Nation.
like, we're talking about like,
Yeah, he changed it
we're
to
talking
Rock
about like
Nation.
brands.
Aster, yeah.
I was talking
He's
about
a
like,
goat. I rate Jay-Z.
I was talking about like brands and stuff that are being satanic.
Yeah.
In some way.
Okay.
Gucci had that post the other day. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
Harry Styles Okay, and there was a baby mattress in the background, just a baby mattress standing on the wall behind him. Like, didn't need it. You didn't need it. That has nothing to do with the shoot.
Don't get me started with the Harry
so
Styles,
so
bro.
pretty much what I was watching some fucking
start,
crazy videos on fucking this shit when the Balenciaga shit happened, and apparently like when you're engaging or you're taking part in these satanic rituals or whatever you are, or engaging your brand as a satanic brand, apparently part of it is actually putting it out there into the world.
No, yes.
And
It's a commitment that you
showing
make, yes.
Yeah, they're saying
Without them knowing,
if you're
yes.
taking part in a satanic thing or whatever, part of it is actually showing people that you're
Brainwashing
part of
people
it.
into
Yeah.
demonic
Because they're like, they're
things.
not scared to hide it.
But that's the cult vibe.
That's
you gotta
the
like
cult
let
vibe.
people know, like, I'm
That
in
stuff
this.
is
that
100%
going back to it,
real.
even like all the Illuminati and shit with all that, when you see
Yeah.
like fucking LeBron or Beyonce and they just put it in, they put it out there for you to see, right? You're never gonna think anything of it. And they're actually, on the other hand, they're looking at it like, yo, we're putting shit out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Well,
still,
the crazy
and they
thing
still
to
don't
me
get
is,
it.
listen, you guys want to run the world, have your cult, whatever, but don't
Yeah.
fucking touch the children, you sick
Yeah, yeah,
fucks.
that's the
You
problem.
guys deserve fucking death. And you want to know how I know it's real? Like, I have friends who've been on the dark web and seen some crazy stuff with celebrities and all this stuff. Like all that stuff you hear, that super extreme stuff that you hear about drinking blood and all that, it's real.
Yeah, of course
and
it
like,
is.
Adrenochromes?
if you look back in history, child sacrifice was a thing. Why did they sacrifice the child? If you look into why, it makes sense why all these people still look at all that stuff. We could get into it. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it's just super evil. This world is very, like I said, if you knew the truth, you would really be depressed.
Yeah, you'd go
Like
crazy.
if you knew the truth, you
and I
would
think
be
that's why
depressed.
people just deny the truth.
deny and yeah, like.
They're like, I'm not ready for that.
But that's why, like, it's up to us to become the billionaires of the world, our own Illuminati, and take over the world and change the world for our own.
See? You see?
You know what I'm saying?
then
No,
Dean
we-
can finally do his Balenciaga bondage shoot.
Yes.
Yo, I thought we were gonna talk about that again, bro.
No, we had this conversation of like, again, detaching, seeing what's going on, being aware, whatever. But for me, like, bro, at the end of the day, like, I want to make money. I want to do all these things. I want to take care of my family. But I'm the kind of guy that, like, I'll speak for myself that if I can make an impact on the world beyond my family, like, that is like,
That's legacy.
it's
Yeah,
legacy.
yeah.
But bro, I want to do it for good. I don't want to be a part of these satanic blood sucking
no.
children.
But you have to be.
No,
Didn't
not
you
with
get the
us.
email yet? You didn't get the email? Oh, just
Was
me?
that what it was?
I just got one, just me.
No, I'm like, you know what I mean?
They're like, well,
I
they
wanna-
literally said, they're like, yo, Ernesto, like, we see what you're trying to do. Just letting you know in the near future, if you want to continue doing this,
Yeah.
you will
Your
have
next
to.
post, you got to put a baby
you
mattress
ha-
in the back.
You are the model for the next Balenciaga ad.
No cap.
So no problem. Sign. I'll sign my life away. Sign it away. But
you know what I
it's great.
mean?
You know how many people like. I mean, Kanye has come out many times and he always says like, sign the deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And
No,
like,
but it is.
Yo,
They don't
he said something
understand
crazy
that.
about sacrificing his mom.
his mom got sacrificed in
No,
Hollywood.
so like, and this is another crazy thing.
Because that's hectic.
No,
bro.
and I believe it.
Yo,
For
yo,
him
it.
to say it though,
Yo,
if
fam,
he
all
And
said
his
it-
mom was as close as we are. Like
I
me and
know,
my mom.
that's
I
which
watched
is
his document.
fucked.
They were like this.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I think that he got into something without knowing what he was getting into because he was just hungry.
And he was just so deep
And he
in-
got, but like, I do believe if you do look at the biggest people, biggest actors and stuff, whether it's a friend, family, someone, there is like, if you look into the whole ritual stuff, it'll scare you. But like, there's sacrifice and showing the stuff or embarrassment. Why do you think all these rappers are wearing like women's stuff and acting like twerking on the devil and acting to have sex with the devil? Like it's for that.
Yeah.
You have to do things and like, you know, it's a real evil world. That's why like I'm just trying to, you know, do my thing. If you focus on it too much, it really could. Like I've been, you know, negatively impacted by all the once you take the red pill, it takes some adjusting to understand.
Oh,
Well,
bro, we talked about
I
this. We
think-
spent a year and a half trying to just like get our fucking emotions right.
Yo, I
Because
think-
like, bro,
Yeah,
this is fucked.
I think the biggest emotion is just like
crazy.
is like how are all these other people not understanding?
Yeah.
That's like the biggest mind fuck.
Mine is anxiety. How do I get out?
Yeah, but you know what? Like
that's
again, you
true
have
too.
you have to remember that like, bro, some people just ain't built for this.
100%. And that's
the
what I've
reality.
learned. That's what
and
I've
that's
learned.
how we gravitate around a table like this.
Yeah.
You gravitate next to the people that you have, you know, similar opinions to, who you can see, who see life in a similar light to you, right? So I think that's another important, just quick takeaway is that when you connect with somebody on like some positive shit, keep that person around. Not saying you got to spend every day of your life with them, but keep constant conversations.
Build your army.
Build your army.
your
Yeah,
circle.
yeah.
Like if we go back to the dawn of time, men, the reason why we love, you know, linking up together is because we're our natural instinct was war and like
Yeah.
going survival. And like till this day, it's still, that's why I love linking up with my, people of my stature, my mindset, my vibration. So we could take over the world together. Some world domination stuff. Like we got to link up, get rich, take care of our families. After our families are good, let's go save the world.
Yeah.
And who cares if we can't? But at least we tried and we did, do a difference. Because like I said, one day this money won't matter. One day we'll have everything we ever wanted. One day we'll have a great, family. And whatnot. What's next? After that, it's like some real powerful stuff that we could do.
I'm curious quickly just to go back to which I agree with exactly what you're saying. That's why we love the tribes. That's why we have that group mentality.
Well, you guys are a neighborhood, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I want to go quickly go back to Kanye for a second. In terms of like what you were saying, like I think he got so deep into something that he didn't even realize how deep he was going. He married like the most biggest Hollywood celebrity in the world. And then now he's just like spinning, dude. The guy's all spun.
What they said he's missing.
Yeah,
He was missing. They couldn't find him, and then they found him. He was at church.
He's at church. Real G.
A picture of him at church.
Real G.
Legendary. But the thing I wanted to say was, I wonder, like, I'm curious, and this is just me being curious. Like, I wonder how his kids are going to react to this when they get to the age.
They'll
of,
either
like,
respect him or
understanding.
hate him.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder, because he has 4 kids, so it's not, they may all have different
But aren't they all
opinions.
girls?
No, 2 boys, 2 girls.
okay.
And I'm curious of like if they're gonna wake up one day and be like,
I think the guys will be on his side and the girls will be on Kim's side.
no, you never know.
Just making,
dude. You
but they're
never
already
know.
making TikToks with her, bro. They're fucking. That's embarrassing. Dude. Stop this.
He
You're
said he
fucking
didn't
7.
want his children on TikTok, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
Which is like that's
You know
fair.
how many pedophiles are on TikTok? Like, that's what I mean. Like, when I get to a certain point, I'm not going to be posting my children every day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be, you know what I mean? Because people are sick. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm at a stage where I'm not like Kanye level, so I could afford to post. I'm sure I don't have millions of people that want to come after me, but one day it comes with, with great power comes great responsibility, and your family's that responsibility.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, you have to adapt. But
Yeah, I agree.
like
It's hectic out here, bro. It's fucking hectic out
Bruh,
here, man.
I think what's missing a lot in the young generation is that they don't have anything to like aim at. You know what I mean? Like they don't have any goals, they don't have any vision, and you have to be able to aim yourself at something.
Yeah.
You know?
well, it all starts with self-love and self-improvement.
And that's the thing. Like they don't even kids don't even realize that if you're doing nothing, like if you have no goals, you have no ambitions, you're technically still aimed at something. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
You're just on your way to nothing.
Yeah, you're aimless. You're just spinning. You're
Right?
running
So-
around at nothing.
But then it's like, you can't even blame them because of all this shit. Like if I was 16 right now, I would almost be like, yo, this world's ending.
No,
dude.
you're getting brainwashed. That's why we
I'd
have
be like,
to
who the
protect
fuck
children.
even cares right now?
Yeah.
Like, like how do you get yourself out of that? Because I feel like we had it okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like
the world was semi-normal.
We were okay. But now it's like,
Semi-normal.
for a kid to have a vision with everything going on,
Yeah,
it's like,
imagine 10 years old, 12 years old.
it's almost like impossible, but they still need to have it in some sort of way, right? So I'm gonna ask you guys now. How do you make sure that you guys are staying on track, staying on your vision, staying true to your aim?
knowing
With
my
everything
purpose.
happening, but with everything happening, all the external forces, which we're stronger, where an external force maybe won't bother us too much. But there's people out there, they have a dream, one thing happens and they all.
I think for me, I mean, there's the first step, and like you said, I think what people are missing is even having the goal, the target.
But they don't realize not having the goal, you're still going nowhere.
Exactly. So, but the thing is you're saying, how do you stay on track, right? How do you, amongst all the bullshit that comes?
Yeah.
First step is, where the fuck are you aiming? Pick your aim.
Yeah.
That's the first step. If you don't have the aim, you're running aimlessly.
Yes.
Pick your target, nail it down, set it in stone. This is what I'm aiming for this year, this month, this half year, whatever. This 5-year target. That's the first step. Beyond that, it's like, listen, and I don't care what anybody says, the best entrepreneurs, all this shit, everyone takes days off. Everyone has days where they're, you actually maybe try not to focus on things in a crazy way. But I think the goal is essentially, in my eyes, what I do is every day I got to do at least one thing
To forward your movement.
to forward
towards
my
the future.
movement towards that goal. Some days I'm doing 10 things.
Yeah.
Some days I'm doing 6.
Yeah.
Some days it's one email.
Yeah.
But I know that one email is still that step forward.
Yes.
So the point is that you're gonna have, once you've narrowed in on your goal, you're gonna have days of crazy progress, and you're gonna have days of the most minuscule progress.
Yeah.
But those days are arguably even more important than the days that you have crazy progress.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's creating this this thing in your head where you're always moving forward. You're always finding a way to move forward no matter what. Because people have family drama, they have work situation, business, noise, the news, this happened, that happened. You wake up, you just have a shit day and those just happen. But it's like, even on those horrible days, you send that one email, you make that one phone call, you have that one text conversation, you put that one Instagram story up, whatever that is, and that's moving you in the right direction. That's how you consistently move forward.
Yeah.
For me, that's my focus.
So for me, it goes deeper than that because we could set a goal. Any Joe Smo walking down the street say, I want 10 mil. But who do you have to become to get that 10 mil?
Facts.
And I think it becomes deeper. So
That's
this
the
is
scary part for
so
people.
so this is why I tell, the people like people that work with me and stuff that are younger, I tell them to find your why, and it sounds corny, but you have to find your why. You have to set goals. You have to read. But if you're not right in here, you will never be right in the real world. If you're not right mentally, if you don't have the right mindset to go through this course of life and taking this route, it's like you will fail. So to anyone, this is what I did. I focused on self-development. I read books. I did journals. I did self-reflection. I did self-love. I focused on myself before the money.
Yeah.
And then when I was right mentally, and I already believed myself to be rich, that's when I started to go chase the money. But now when I go chase the money and I have ups and downs, I take it like a champ because my mental, they can never take that away from you. They can take a business, they can take anything, but why do you think I say I'm the business? Because I've trained this system in my brain to be able to move accordingly, to never stop and stay consistent. Staying consistent, massive action, and knowing your why, and being obsessed with your goals, and do or die. Like, if you have no, and that's why I always tell people to do it for somebody. If you're not doing it for yourself, do it for somebody, because you will most likely go harder. I do it for my family. I do it for my future children. I do it for the kids of this generation. That's why we're starting a school to teach these kids all this. Like, our first onboarding process is mindset, getting you to listening to the right content, monitoring your internal thoughts, meditation. Imagine a school where they taught you mental wellness, how to set goals. That's the first level. That's like, middle school. And then you go into different income streams. You learn about the different income streams, people skills, and then the third, after that, you figure out how to make some money, then it's health. And you work on, natural stuff and how to stay in shape and dieting. Imagine a school for that, and that's what we want to create.
We got to start. We got to make that. We should make that
and
school.
our end goal is to have, there's something called chartered schools in America, and I'm sure around the world they call it something else. But you could have your own curriculum as a school.
Yeah.
They have Harvard and all this stuff. Like, these are all indoctrinations for sheep. I want to have an indoctrination center for goats. I want to teach these kids from day one. How do I add
Goats, baby.
value to the world? How do we're going to go fight against the Matrix or the Illuminati, the evil people? How do we do that? They're going after our kids because they know if they brainwash the kids, we're going to die eventually.
Yeah.
Right? So if they could brainwash the generations to come, they own the world.
Yeah.
Once we die. Why do you think a lot of older people are dying from all these viruses that are getting released? They want to take out the old people, stop people from having more kids so they can just control the population that we have now.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I think, self-development is number one over everything, because if you aren't right inside and you don't know where you're going and have a vision, you will never get anywhere.
An important part of that too, I think, and another point that I think mixes in with what you and what I said is, besides finding your aim, is find someone that you want to be like, who embodies the person that you want to become, and move how they would move. So it's like if you love fucking, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo, bro, whatever. We'll use him as an example, okay? You're like, okay, and maybe it's not even for like the sports aspect, but more of just like his alphaness, his mentality, the money he has, whatever. You got to start acting today, even though you don't have the money and you don't have the maybe the physical appearance that he does and the mentality he does, but you got to act today as a person you want to be in 50 years. So, what do those people do on a daily? And I'm not saying all of a sudden you have to go run 700 kilometers.
It's the little wins
It's the little things. Like, okay, if I can start to just implement, the gym into my lifestyle now, okay, boom, I will progress to that point. If I can start to work on my mentality and my no bullshit, get shit done type of thing, boom, that's another step to it, right? It's moving as the person that you want to become, but moving as them today. I think Daniel G talked about this. He's like, this is the person you want to be, but the way you're acting is down here. It's not aligned. But if this is the person you want to be, you got to move like the person you want to be so that energy becomes aligned and you can actually become like the path is straight to become that.
The difference between you and your goals is very simple. discipline and consistency.
Yeah.
And so with discipline comes consistent action.
Yeah.
And consistency comes consistency.
Yeah.
If I try every single day to ride a bike, I will learn to ride a bike. If I try every single day to do anything, I will end up doing it. So it's just, discipline. That's what I'm working on. With me, like 2023, I really want to be more disciplined. I want to cut out the comfortabilities of life. I want to get back in shape because I know the difference between Kane right now and the six-pack Kane is the discipline. And that difference between me and my money goal, I'm not going to say it, but me and my money goal
Say it, bro.
is that me and my 10 mil by the end of next year is the six-pack. Because that discipline that it'll take me to focus on my health, to wake up, to not overeat.
Discipline.
It's the same discipline
Yeah.
with life.
Yeah.
And people have to understand that's why health is wealth. And people need to understand that.
And I think even jumping back too on the aiming, I think it's okay if your aim changes too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? I think it's okay. And I think that you should aim at something smaller to begin with.
Yeah.
Because like you guys both just said, all those little wins, that's what gives you the confidence to do something bigger, to risk something bigger, So
You have to gain confidence in yourself.
you can aim at one thing. You could just say, yo, like, listen, I'm going to aim at getting a six-pack in 6 months. Okay? And we'll see how that goes. You can do it. And then that 6 months, maybe after, you're like, all right, like, maybe this is not what I thought it was going to be. I got to aim at something else.
Yeah.
But
it could
aim
be for
is the
jobs,
one thing.
But you got
That's
to
the
aim.
key.
Right? It doesn't matter how many things you aim. As long as you're aiming, you do something, you don't like it, now.
Well,
You
I
like
think
it?
the difference between us and a lot of people is we have the utmost confidence in ourselves. How do you build
But that comes from little wins.
So, and how do you build that? What's the difference? I call it lag time. In any business, let's say, you're running a business, something goes down, there's no money being made. That's lag time. What's the lag time between your thought and your action?
Yeah.
Is it taking you a day? Is it taking you a second? Is it taking you a year? Right? How long from that thought that you need to do? We all could be honest with you. We know what we need to do. Some of
Always.
us just ignore
Always.
it.
Say this all the
Always.
time.
So
Say
what's
this all
that
the time.
lag time in between doing what you know you need to do? What's that lag time? And that's the difference between you and success, right?
That's the difference between winners and losers, bro.
Yeah.
So
And once you gain that confidence in yourself, so let's say, okay, I gotta message someone or I gotta go record this song or shoot this podcast, and I did it the same day, I'm more confident in myself next time. I know I need to do something because I did it that day. And that's what discipline does. So once you have the self-confidence, like I could tell myself anything and do anything and stick to myself. You can't conquer the world unless you conquer yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why your health matters and your mindset matters. And the moment you could conquer that, you could conquer yourself, you could conquer anything in the world.
And I agree with that. I think there's like there's a fucking quote that I want to get off, but I think this is for anybody that's in this mindset, anybody that's trying to become a winner, do good for themselves, take care of their family, take care of themselves in general. There's a famous saying. Who said it? I don't know, but it's a famous saying, and it goes: losers focus on winners, winners focus on winning.
Wow.
And that's the reality of it.
Wow.
If you're a loser, you're always looking up at who's doing better than me. If you're a fucking winner, it doesn't matter.
You're the
who's
only
doing
competition.
good.
You're never looking down.
You're never looking down. You're
Yeah.
only focused on one thing, continuously winning. And I think that really has set in for me in the last few years. Like, man, before I used to be the guy on social media that was like, how is this guy doing so well? And how is they doing better than me? And now I'm like, yo, I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, Kane, he just made fucking 10K today. I'm like, that's fucking lit. I love that. I'm happy for him, bro. Oh, Ernesto just did this. Proper, like, let's go. Like, these are the people that are around me anyways.
But
So
that's a different mentality, And I think people in the city don't have that.
Well, you
that
know what the
sort of
thing,
thing.
the difference
here.
between
It's hard
you
to look at
fucking
someone and say, like,
with
I'm happy for you.
These Trumps, you know what the difference is, and they don't understand. The world's against us.
Yeah.
So why be against the people that we're going against the world with?
Yeah.
Right? It's like we're going to take over this. We have common goals. We're brothers, right? Or we're friends. It's like if you're making $10 million, if you're making let's say you're making 10x more than me. That's so amazing because I'm sitting in front of you.
Yeah,
It's not like
exactly.
I'm at the skate park or at the club hanging out with a bunch of losers. I'm in front of you and we're friends and we're talking.
But it's
heat.
also that you can see it can be done.
That's what I mean, right? And people think that like, oh, I have to be the best. Listen, competition between, and this is what ruins a lot of male friendships, because especially in business, and it's happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to all, and that's why I respect you guys so much, because it's so, you almost never see two founders stick together, and you guys have stuck together through the longest times, and they always end up breaking up because ego, right? But healthy competition is great. Like, I have healthy competition with all my boys. I want to be the biggest breadwinner in my circle, but will I wish bad on my brother? Will I have envy in my blood towards him? Never. But healthy competition as an alpha is great.
Yeah.
But know the difference between envy and hating on someone and trying to one up your boy, because we are believers in continuous progression, continuous growth.
It's just small mindset, you know, small time mentality, because bro, your boy can succeed to the max, and there's still so much room for you to.
It's the abundance mindset.
It's abundance, dude. So
there's not a shortage of money or success. I'll tell you that.
and you also brought up like your inner voice and your, you know, your spiritual self, you know, and I think that that's important too, because especially with the last few years, with like literally, I see this as like an attack on our spirit.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It
so
is.
I
It's an
think
attack on our spirit
people
every
more
day.
than ever need to tap into their spirit and their inner voice, you know? And I want to ask you more about that, because even myself, like sometimes my inner voice is hard on me. Sometimes it's more motivated. Like, how do you have that relationship with yourself?
It comes with meditation, and observing. So, you know, I will observe. So if I almost rarely ever now, like at 99% of the time, it's always positive in my head.
Good.
No matter what. Before, and don't get me wrong, in the beginning stages, it wasn't, maybe 50-50, but I still had that little, you need some confidence built into you. But, you know, listening, you just got to think like, you know, between who I am now and that person that I'm going to become with all the goals, and I know why I want it, so I'm committed to that. What would he say to me? Like, or I saw something on social media today. It's like, put a picture of your baby self up on your mirror when you're brushing your teeth. So every time you talk shit about yourself, you're talking to that little kid in front of the mirror. Would you tell that kid these things you're telling yourself? Like, you have to do it for that kid in the mirror, and that's yourself. Right? And but it's a baby picture. You got to choose a cute one, an innocent looking one. So that way, it's like, I got to go. You know, that's who I got to do it for. And young me is proud. Young me is so proud, and I'm going to make my older self is going to be proud of me now, because I'm making the right decisions. I'm thinking ahead. But that's a big difference in like listening to the inner voice, being able to monitor yourself through meditation, and understanding that, like I said, once you get your mindset right, the inner voice, that's when everything changes.
I think an important piece of it too is like, it's kind of similar to what you're saying about the baby picture. Like, I read something that said that you should never even make bad jokes about yourself. Like, you should never even be like, I'm such a loser. Like, you should never
I
put
have the
that
worst
energy.
luck.
Yeah, you should never. I'm this or I'm that, whatever. You should. I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Like, you should never make those jokes
Why
about
is that?
yourself, because you're putting out.
You're like self-manifesting. Like,
Okay,
Exactly.
that's what I was
Exactly.
looking
You were
exactly.
looking for that.
Well, because then at the end of the day, like I'm a believer of, when you put it out into the universe, it comes to fruition to some extent. So if all you're
Good
doing
or
is
bad.
good or bad,
Yeah.
exactly. So if all you're making, and even if it's a joke, you're still putting that energy. It's coming out of you. It takes energy to say and speak words.
Well, it's called the power of the tongue. And if we go back to the beginning of history, when they wrote the Bible, they wrote everything. It's like they didn't want us to learn to read and write. Why do you think, like with slaves back in the day, they didn't want them to read or write? Because
didn't
what
get
does reading or
educated,
writing do?
Power.
It's called
Power.
spelling, right? And my music, in some people's eyes, would be witchcraft. I don't call it witchcraft. I just call it
Wait,
manifestation.
how's it witchcraft?
Because for example, my process of writing a song, and I could pull up so many examples of things that I've manifested through my music. So I write it, right? You know, say write your goals. So I write it and reread it about 50 to 100 times, reciting every single line I write in my head. So boom, that's the first step. Then secondly, I'm reciting it. What do you do when you do a spell? You recite the spell, you read the spell, you get to know it, you believe it, right? So then you start saying it in the studio and practicing it. And then on top of that, you're listening to it all day when you're driving around. And what does that do? It convinces your subconscious that it is coming and that you have it already. I talk before I had a villa in Turks and Caicos. I said Turks and Caicos Property Investments in one of my songs 2.5 years ago.
You talk in the present,
I
though.
didn't even I talk in the present if I have it right now. And that's the difference. And that's what people say. So when you say I'm unlucky, you're literally telling the universe and your subconscious that you're unlucky and that'll manifest.
And they keep giving it back to you.
All I do is rap about family, money, and traveling. What do? I make money. I spend time with my family, and I travel. Right. I've manifested everything that I'm a master manifestor, and that's what I call it. And it sounds stupid, and you can't just like manifest. It takes action. But there's certain things that you could do. Success is a vibration, and there's certain things that you could do with yourself to make things happen in your favor. I can't scientifically explain it. And hey, let's say it is all voodoo, stupid stuff, but if it's working, I don't care. Right.
Yeah, it could be voodoo all at once, bro. As
but
long as
it's working for me.
I think it works for everyone, bro, to be honest. They just got to put themselves in that mentality, in that mindset. I think meditation. I always talk about it.
Guys, get into Wim Hof breathing, learning how to observe.
It's crazy.
Yourself.
You know what fucks me up? It's crazy that that's like so low key in this world. Like
Because they don't want
meditating.
us to have power.
That's
and that's why at our school we're gonna be teaching that stuff, right?
Goat College, Goat University.
Yeah,
We're gonna make it.
Goats, a bunch of goats.
That's
you know?
So you're on this fucking journey now.
Yeah,
Okay, you're killing it.
thank you.
No relationship. Come on, I said we're gonna ask everything.
You know,
And tell me what you think too about.
Hey, we want the truth.
We want everything now.
No bullshit. This is uncut.
Oh, man, this
uncut.
guy
This
put me on the
MBH,
spot.
bro.
Yo, it is what it is.
Listen,
You don't have to
listen.
say name. No
Oh,
names.
of course.
Of course,
Listen,
names.
no.
The IG, put the IG up.
Listen,
No.
you know, from day one, you know, I think I said on the previous part, I was in a long-term relationship and stuff. Once you start making money, yes, you attract women. Like, you know, they smell it off. Because at the end of the day, like
It's a fragrance,
It's a
bro.
fragrance. Like the way I move, I'm like, you know, and it's confidence. And like, listen, it's amazing. You know, I definitely want a wife. I would love a wife. But right now, you know, I was in, you know, it was like 2 years, I think, while I was talking to you guys. I think she came to the first podcast. You know, great woman. You know, it's just, I'm not in the right mindset to commit to a woman other than my mother and my grandma. We could be friends. We could have some fun. I'll impact your life. I don't, like, the thing with me and women, like I said, I'm very selectful. So any woman I'm seeing, I try to impact their life in some sort of way. So you can't say I did nothing for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, I would love to, like, there's a part of me, like, now I'm starting to grow up. I want kids. Like, there's a part of me that wants kids. I see kids, I got excited. I would love a relationship. But right now, I just, you know, I want to have fun. I want to explore. And I'm a relationship guy. You know, I think I have, like, you know, I find different women to have, you know, like every girl I see, I kind of create a relationship with them. As toxic it may sound, because I just love love. And that's just how I am, right?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? What do you mean though? You like multiple at once?
Nah.
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying like even if it's like just a 1-2 time.
No, but I want to learn more about how you're creating this relationship. I want to know what goes
I
into
just
that.
add value. Like the moment I see a girl, it's like, when are we going for dinner? There's no leg time. Like, when are we going for dinner? I sit them down. I ask them their life goals. I ask them how many men they've been with.
Is that the first chats going down?
Yes.
Okay.
And if they don't like it, then, you know, I don't care. But
Do they
I'm vetting
answer all the
because
time? Do they give you the number?
Yeah, actually they do, because and whether they're truthful or not, I don't know. But like, I have a very due diligence vetting process. Whether you're recreational or I take you seriously, right? Because we can have fun regardless.
It's a
baby girl.
recreational.
I never heard
You know
that
what I'm
before.
saying?
this anymore.
But it's like, if I know you're outside, I'm not
Yeah.
going to take you seriously. We can have fun.
Yeah.
You know, you want to come to Turks? All right, whatever.
But what's your mindset saying right now? Like, are you just focused on entrepreneur? Or are you still doing that? Are you still trying to look around
So
and find a
I
relationship?
believe as an alpha, women, depending on how much testosterone you have, is necessary.
Okay.
Because domination, when I dominate in the bed, I dominate in the world. And that confidence I get from bed, I get from the world
listen,
and vice
I
versa.
agree
Guys
with
playing
that.
domination in bed.
Search and destroy.
Search and destroy in bed, bro.
I agree with that. I agree in terms of like having that
Women are great.
relationship is
Feminine
important.
energy
yeah.
is amazing. We need it. I was
Well,
raised
it's-
around it. That's
it's
why I
the
love
yin,
women.
It's the yin and the yang of it. So okay, sure. Whether I guess I don't know. For me, it's one relationship. But if it's multiple, it's whatever. For other people, I still think it's important, and it actually helps you grow as a man.
Yes.
Because listen, you need the feminine energy around you, and as much as you get it when you're younger from your family members, your mom, your sister, whatever, like. As a man, it's just like, sometimes you just need a woman to cuddle
it's a
with.
game,
It's a
and
game.
it's a
yeah,
game,
and it keeps you on your toes.
know,
I
it
think
does.
I think it keeps you on your toes.
These
It
guys
keeps
like
you-
playing games, eh?
I think-
These guys want to play games,
No,
eh?
but bro, it keeps your head right, bro.
Dean,
It
tell
keeps
me about what you
it
think
keeps you
about-
spinning. You know
What's
what I'm
going-
saying? Like
You're
this
in
is as a
Dean,
23-year-old male, mind
Dean,
you.
you have a
Yeah,
That's
but
my
listen,
mindset
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I
Dean's
won't
got a
smoke
girl.
before.
yeah.
I got something cooking. Yeah.
Oh, these
Yeah,
guys.
what's up? Let's
Dean's
talk.
chefing
I
up
was
the thing.
saying this a long time ago to my homies that were coming up, and like, I'm by no means where I need to be or where I want to be, but I know on the come up, the fewer distractions you have,
Yes, on the
women
come up.
included,
Yes.
the better off you are. The less time you have spending on the weekend cooking, making cookies with your girl or whatever, the more time you have to hustle and find a new client, find a new business idea, find something like that. So
100%.
I think it's important to have fun and have relationships, but try not to distract yourself with like a long-term thing, probably in the beginning if you're
In the
trying to be an
beginning.
entrepreneur.
Exactly.
The thing is, again, I'll go back to disagreeing with that statement to a certain extent because of this. at the end of the day, when you're on your come up, bro, you're not. I don't care who you are. You're not 99% of your time is going towards the hustle. That's just.
But it's
not,
about your priorities as well.
Priorities.
No. But you're missing the point. Okay, but okay, yeah. For some men, maybe their priority is I'm going to put 90% into the hustle, and 10% I'm going to put into playing video games.
Yeah.
I think that 10%, instead of video games, if you put it into a woman.
Yeah.
And that you can grow with, and that can see it out from very early on.
But this is the
by
part.
the time you're
this is the
ready,
part, though. This is the part.
by the time you're ready to say, "Yo, I'm ready for kids," you've had a woman who's seen your whole come up,
I know.
has supported it, right?
That's so hard to find.
But hold on, exactly.
yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what I was gonna
Finally,
say.
someone else.
If you go to Europe, okay.
You're talking about 1%.
But again, this is okay. But this is where you guys are wrong again, and I'm gonna tell you how.
Let's hear it.
Lover boy.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I'm gonna
Can't
tell you
wait.
how, because bro, at the end of the day, you guys are all spending time doing bullshit at the same time as you're hustling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, smoking weed with your boys, playing video
Yeah.
games, whatever. If you put that time towards finding that woman, you'll find her. Like at the end of the day, listen, we're all alphas.
I don't believe that, though.
We're
I don't
all-
believe you gotta
we're-
go looking like that. I don't think
It
you
comes
do that.
to you.
Yeah, I don't believe
No,
that.
listen. It's okay, bro. I'm not saying
Because those
I'm not
become the
saying on
guys that
dating-
date 40 girls in 1 year.
I'm not saying
you know those
on
guys
dating
that they can't be
websites.
single for 2 seconds.
No, I'm not saying you're on dating websites trying to find the girl left, right, and
So
center.
how am I gonna find them?
Bro, listen, in your social settings and being around, doing things like they come. Listen, at the end of the
Where?
day, bro, let me ask you a question.
Give me 2 places I can go right now.
Bro,
Marvel.
listen.
Marble.
You're
Marble. You definitely don't want to go there.
Gold mine.
Bro, listen. You've had your fair share of women in the past, right?
Of course.
You're telling me right now, out of all the women that you've had some type of situation with,
Yeah.
that there was never a good one there? I don't believe
No,
that,
because
bro.
no.
I don't believe
Oh,
that.
wow.
Because I don't settle just because I think it's the right thing at the moment. Because every time I thought there was a girl that was gonna be the one,
No, what do you mean? Right,
2 weeks later, I find a broad. I'm like, no, that's the one. Never mind. What am I talking about?
Yeah, but
that's the
but
one
that's
right
your
there.
dick
There's
talking.
8 billion
That's your
people
dick-
in the
that's your
world,
dick
Bello.
talking. No, that's not your.
No. But if you're telling me to go on a tour on Queen West and King West to find my girlfriend, because I'm asking you where to find it, and you haven't given me an answer yet.
Listen, bro. Mine
Let's hear
came from just through friends. It was just a natural thing that we got
Okay,
connected.
but
But
when
you're
did
the
you meet? When
1%.
did you meet?
Oy.
Yeah, exactly. Thank
no,
you.
but I
Bello.
also-
But you
Totally
were the
different.
1% because I was with a girl for 9 years. I got cheated on.
Yeah.
And what happened? What did
See?
I learn?
Poor
It made
guy.
me to an
Yeah.
animal. No, not poor
Yeah.
guy, rich guy. But
Poor that
you
rich
know,
dad sitting
you
here
know,
right now.
But it turned me to an animal. Listen, no, this is the thing. When I was broke, I didn't believe I deserved pussy. You know, now that I'm up a little, I can have some fun.
Yeah.
But
Even
that's
when I was
just how
broke, I thought I deserved
it.
Yeah. And, we all have, but it was convenient for me to think that because I never got pussy because I was with a girl my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but I gotta say something. I'm with you.
In the mic,
I'm with
into
you,
the
and
mic.
everyone here is with you. The problem we're seeing is that
It's
just
hard.
One out
It's
of
hard. But again, okay, but 100%. But what about the goal for us of saying we want to be billionaires?
that's more realistic.
That's no. Come on,
Listen,
bro.
women
That's
are
hard.
liabilities.
that's more
No,
that's
no,
more
no, no.
realistic to me than me finding the girl that you just described.
Here's the
Okay.
girl you're describing.
Okay, but
the
hold on,
girl
hold
you're
on, hold on.
describing is okay with 10% of your attention. You know how many girls are okay with 10% of your attention?
None. No more.
That you got to
Well,
grow
hold
into
on,
that. You
1%.
grow into
One
that.
in a thousand,
She grows
one in
into that.
5,000.
She
Let me
grows
tell you
into
something.
that. She doesn't start like
Go
that.
back though.
There's never
what
a girl.
year did you meet your girlfriend?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Give me a year.
10 years ago, 5 years
No,
ago?
it was way less than 10.
8.
Okay, just say 5. We'll say 5.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, the world was a different place.
Okay.
Listen, you could find
was way
good women.
different. You know
Listen,
that.
You could find good women, but the question is, do you want to sit down and commit?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's
Why
the
is that a problem,
No, but
though?
you just said,
listen, the
you just
last
said you
girl I
can't
had
find
was
them.
amazing.
I'm
you just
saying-
said you couldn't find them. He said you could find
You
them.
could find them.
But you don't want to
I
commit.
know- I know how to
You're saying
find
yes.
them.
Find me one.
Okay.
Send me one.
Bro, I know how I attract them though because I don't attract these little
That's what I'm
But
thoughts.
hold
trying
on,
to
you're already
say.
up here. I'm talking about when you're
Oh,
here.
well, when you're here, don't even focus
That's
on
what
it.
I'm saying.
Focus on yourself.
When you're already up here
When
and
you're up
you're
here, it's easy to
retiring
find
your
the good
mom,
girls.
that you're
Yeah.
already on the track. Your train is already going 200
Yeah,
kilometers
that's
an
the
hour.
easy part. That's easy time.
But can I
That's
say something?
easy.
But I can partially agree with that. But the other side of it is, even when you don't have the money, but you're moving like that guy, you still will attract those women.
10 years ago.
That's
10 years ago.
maybe that
years
You
ago.
can't
that I
fly a
won't
girl
10 years
to
ago.
Turks,
No,
there's a guy
hold on.
that flies
Let me
to
make
Turks.
something clear as well.
That-
When
that I
say
won't say yes or no
When
to.
I say like finding a girl, I literally mean here, like in Toronto.
Oh
like
no,
Canada.
Bonnie.
hold
I mean,
on,
no. I
That's
found
what I
some
mean.
good
But where
women
do you want
here.
me to go?
I found some good
Bro,
women.
we-
here.
we
You're
move around.
fishing
We
in the
move
wrong
around.
lake, brother. You're fishing in the wrong lake.
Yeah, we're moving
Listen,
around.
I know
You know
that.
how you find them?
Yeah.
They have less than 2,000 to 5,000 followers.
100%. But they're in a mountain in
me,
Croatia.
No,
That's where I gotta
some
go.
things are here. I find a
okay, but now,
couple.
let's
Find you a nice Muslim
Okay.
woman. She's
Okay, hold
never
on.
done anything.
Let me speak on not our behalf because we're all in a different situation.
Yeah. Okay.
We travel a lot. We could do more than, let's say,
Yeah.
the average Joe.
Yeah.
The average Joe, though, to find the girl that you just described is never happening, eh?
Yeah, because
But that's because he's an average Joe. Is that what
no,
you're gonna
but
say?
you got lucky,
But
brother, and you have
no,
to
but hold
understand
on,
that.
Just
but you guys
admit
have
it.
to say something. Even when I was an average Joe,
Yeah.
and I didn't have what I have today,
You got lucky.
I still moved like that. And that's the fucking reality of it. And then when it comes to a girl that's okay with 10% of your time, whatever. Bro, it wasn't that easy in the beginning. It wasn't like, oh, you're getting 10%. She's like, okay.
No, but I'm saying
it
now,
was conversations.
if you
where
start
it
that
was,
conversation
Does he have
now,
a girlfriend?
yeah.
So do you think you're gonna marry her?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, no.
Kids,
Okay,
kids,
But that's-
everything.
but that's fair.
99% of the time, bro, we're 21, 20, 19, 23, 24, 25. Our life expectancy is like 80 years old or whatever,
Yeah.
90. So it's like, are you gonna lock yourself up at 30 for the rest of your life? Right? That's how you gotta look at it as well. Unless you meet the
lock
right
yourself-
girl. Don't
lock
get me
yourself
wrong.
up in what sexually? Because outside of sexuality, I don't care to have relationships.
But
with
you
other
said outside
women.
of sexuality, though.
No. I'm speaking to the. I'm speaking to the average guy, right? The
Okay,
average guy is gonna say, "Well, I don't want to make the commitment because I want to fuck as many girls as I want." But bro,
I think the average guy will commit to that.
Yeah,
I think
he
he's
will.
just sad in the end.
Well,
The
yeah.
average guy should find a broad pretty quick because if you're going to work at the bank for the rest of your life, find a girlfriend, get married, buy your house, and die already.
Fair.
But we're talking about people that are trying to make shit happen, and you can't have a distraction when you're 21.
Well,
and
this
you,
is
you
why
know,
I like having
my
a
point
diverse portfolio.
Yeah.
Diversify the
I want them
portfolio
all.
so you can attract different
Yeah.
different
Listen,
people.
if we're just being honest, you have 3 good girls. They're all amazing. You help their lives, and you give them value. And
Yeah,
you know
sure.
whether you're upfront
Give
with
value.
them whether you're upfront with them or not, that's up to you. That's your discretion.
Sure.
I don't believe that like if I'm married to a woman, I could go sleep with a bunch of women. Yes, sex isn't the same for a man and a woman. It's definitely not. But like for me, if I'm in a committed relationship, I want to be committed. I'm 23 right now.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm 28, maybe when I'm 30, I'll sit down and be with my wife. But like, you got to experience different things. If you only go to the grocery store and you try a banana and you say, I want this banana every single day for a meal for the rest of my life, you don't know whether you like apples. You don't know whether you like chicken. You don't know what you like. So I believe as a young man, you have to explore. Don't get in anything too serious because a lot of the time, it'll affect your mental. It could take
No, but
you
I
off
didn't
your
think
hustle.
you didn't do that, though. You didn't
but
do that.
I'm torn on what you're saying, and I'll explain why. Because what I guess the question is what do you look for in a wife and future mother?
Don't break
right?
my balls.
That's probably a part of the things you look for, right? So my point is I don't think you need to explore if you
Already found
if you
that
know like
1% of that
exactly
woman,
like listen
like,
for me the
very
one
rare.
thing and
But here's-
you can
okay.
attest to
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I will.
You can attest to this. I've always said like I want a family, I want a
Yeah,
wife, I want kids.
same.
That stuff but even when I was like 19, 20, I was still moving with that headspace. So if I find that I don't need to explore. The only other exploring you can do is just like it's sexually. But
don't-
outside of that, it's like
No, but
Don't you ever
experience
think of
different
something?
types
No,
of
don't you ever think of like our grandparents and how like they met when they were 14 and they got married right away, and all they knew was the other 20 people in their town.
sure.
I'd be kind of rattled, because there's 8 billion people in the world, and bro, how do you?
But
What?
bro, like
What?
Didn't they sort of live a more happier life?
You
than
could say
us?
that, but they can also look at us and say you guys have it way easier than I did.
in certain aspects.
In both aspects, you can say
in certain
pros and cons for
aspects.
both though.
Yeah, 100%. No, I'm saying, but
Now-
that's the thing. You can argue
Now,
both sides
from
of that.
why I agree with Kane is because from like I see guys as well that they fucking find the girl and they marry her right away. Okay, now
And
in the
power to
rare
you.
case they found the one, but bro, I don't buy all that shit. Okay,
Yeah,
because a lot of
it's
people are
hard to
just
find the
settling.
one, bro,
a lot of people
yeah.
are just settling
Okay.
because society, bro.
Yeah.
So that's what that is, bro. I don't really like.
Yeah, but again, okay, but then it comes down to what we always say. Who are we speaking to? We speaking to the average Joe, or are we speaking to a guy like us?
Okay, but let me
who's
speak
the
to you, now.
audience?
Let me speak to you from a guy like us. I'll say in my opinion.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
these are
Because-
all our opinions.
yeah,
at the end of
Because
the day.
if you do test it out and you do try out the waters and see what you like as a male and see what kind of female you want and whatever, like you'll learn about the person you want. Because bro, how many times does one guy say, "Bro, this is the girl. I'm done. I'm gonna
Bro,
fucking marry her."
listen, my first
2 years
love,
later, they're
I thought
done.
I was gonna
and then
marry
he
her
finds someone that,
and
I
have
love her
kids.
again.
But-
I love her again
Yes.
now. No, I love you now. No, I love you now. It's like you just had 10 boyfriends in 5 years. So who do you love? Bitch, who do you love? So it's same for a male. If you sometimes you listen.
I'm torn. I hear you. Like there's aspects of what you're saying that I hear you, and then there's other.
How many
aspects.
people do you know in a relationship that are just settling right now? That actually, if they were really genuine to themselves, they wouldn't be in that relationship. How many people?
It's majority.
Exactly.
It's
It's
majority.
9 out of 10.
It's majority.
Bro,
it
I'm
might even
saying
be
you're
higher
lucky,
than that.
and
It
I'm
might be
saying-
like a 9.6.
Yeah, it might even be higher.
It worked for you, and you're lucky, and God
Yeah.
bless you, and God bless
Yeah,
your
say
girl.
your prayers
Like,
every
you know,
day.
God
No,
bless.
100%. But the message I want to get out is that it's out there though. Because then
No,
it's
100%.
out there
100%.
and it's rare. Sure, it's rare, but at the same time, the going back to the first point that we make was, you got to make a decision. I believe of like what, and this has nothing to do with even just with women and whatever. The spare time that you have as a hustler, where do you want to use that spare time?
Self-love in the beginning.
Yeah,
stages,
yeah.
Yeah. No,
self-development.
100%. I agree.
But
with
you
that. I
could
agree with
divide
that.
it up.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You
I'm
could
saying-
divide it up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
okay, first
I'm
of
not
all,
saying it has to be
if you're,
one thing.
let's say you're 20 and you go until 24, and all that spare time you used on learning about the opposite sex and who you want in your life.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple relationships, maybe a couple didn't work.
Yeah.
Now you've done that, and now you know what's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I thought my
so-
first girl was perfect, and then I met the second girl. I'm like, this girl's perfect, and now but it's like now I'm understanding what I want out of a woman, what type of
Yes.
woman I
Yeah.
like, what I like.
You know
sexually.
actually what you liked from each of those
Exactly.
girls and why you felt that way.
Yes.
But also the I think the point should be made. And I agree with you guys, but I think the point should be made also that a relationship does take work.
100%.
Okay,
And
so
so it's
that's a
like maybe
liability,
the first-
in my opinion, in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's what are you getting out of that liability?
Yeah.
The thing is, you're saying liability. I see it as investment.
Because your girl is an investment.
Yes.
But 99% of women
Thank
aren't.
you.
Okay,
so
but-
when you
okay,
break up
but-
after 7 years and you find out the girl cheated on you, that was
Bro,
that was a
Kane
waste.
flew
yeah,
her
but
out
are
to
you
Turks,
acting-
and I
okay,
found
but-
out a couple months
I know,
after
but
I'd
let
be
me ask
heartbroken.
you
That was a
Let
waste.
me ask
Now
you
he's
a
gonna look at it like, wow, I learned.
No,
I
and that's
learned.
what happened to me.
No,
I learned.
No,
but I
did you
didn't need
learn?
se-
Did you learn?
Learn
You
from
learned
what?
from it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't
I
need
became a
7 years
G.
to learn from it, though.
I
He
became
didn't
the
need
guy
7
who
years
was
of
flying
it.
my girl
No,
out.
I
He
know
could have
what
learned
I'm
after 1 year. 1 year he needed to learn, not 7.
No, that's not true. That's
What are you
not
talking
true.
about?
Everybody, what do you mean? Everyone has their own amount of time they need to
If you
learn
need to,
something.
if you need to learn that women are not loyal to you in some sort of way, you can learn that in a month. You can learn that in a year. You can learn that in 7 years.
But that's not. It's not just it's not the only lesson you're getting out of that relationship. So many things have happened.
course.
So many arguments. So many debates, conversations happen that you learn from. It's not
Of
like
course.
you just fuck. 7 years later, she cheats on you, break up.
Hey,
you're like,
that's hey,
I hate women. It's
that
like
could
no,
be some
dude.
relationships. You never know.
Some.
What
but
happened
no,
to me?
No, but you
You weren't
learn.
having life talks. So come on, you were just smashing.
Yeah.
You weren't having life talks.
No, we were.
Yeah,
We
and that
definitely
you
were.
learn from. And even
But
if
I
it's
was
not,
also in high school, mind you, right?
no, that's so early though.
I
Yeah,
I
plays
lost
a
my
part.
virginity there at 12, fam.
Yeah, well,
like I
that's
was
crazy.
like, you know,
That's
and I was with her
fun.
till I was like 20.
Yeah, that's
you know what I
different.
mean?
That's different.
So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but like all of our opinions, you know, come from our experiences.
Yes.
You've had a good experience. God bless you. You're lucky.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for the majority of men that want to become successful, you can't afford. Listen, a lot of majority of men aren't, if they're not mentally strong enough to pursue a career of entrepreneurship, they're not mentally strong enough to be with a woman because it's power, right? If I'm with, it's a power dynamic. So if I'm
Correct,
a highly desirable male and a lot of women want me, right? She knows it's a privilege to be with me.
Yes.
If we're both came together and it's like, I know that I am the gold ticket. Like that's how I look at myself. And
Me
that's
too,
how-
100%.
Exactly.
I say that
and
every
you're
day.
lucky enough to find a woman, but now when it comes to letting a woman in at an early stage, and a lot of these guys, they won't walk away from something toxic. They'll stay getting cheated on. They'll still
Yeah,
getting
that's
ran by their
fair.
team.
I agree with
A
that.
lot,
I
I've
agree with
seen it.
that. I
And if
agree
you
with
look back at history, all the biggest empires fell from pussy and women. Like whether it was like a king and a wife, or he killed some
Some
whatever
beef or
it may
some
be.
shit, yeah.
And you look at all these very successful men around the world. A lot of them are celebrities and stuff. The biggest downfall is something they did with a woman.
Yeah.
Whether it was a drunk night or something. And I'm not saying hate women. I love women. I'm just saying
But
in the beginning.
I see that, but bro, I see that as a self issue.
No, it is.
If you can't
It is.
control, if
it's
you
from
can't control
past traumas, right?
because there's a fucking saying. I even wrote it down here before the pod. Women only submit to a man who they respect.
Yes.
Yes.
But
5 years
a
ago.
lot of mans
I'm
aren't
gonna- I'm
respectable.
also say
but
5
a lot
years
of
ago
mans
again.
aren't respectable nowadays. So now their
Facts.
king
Yeah,
is
yeah,
running the
that's-
relationship. They're getting cheated on,
that is
and now
the
they just
fact.
ruin their whole life because they're in a toxic relationship. They're not man enough to leave.
So I
not man
agree.
enough to take action.
So first,
you have to fix yourself up.
First,
here, right?
fix yourself. I agree with
Yes.
that. First, put yourself.
Love yourself
in a
first, and then
position-
love somebody. Don't
Yes.
not. That's the biggest thing I could say to anyone.
Put
And that's
yourself
why I
in a
say
position,
younger
yeah.
guys, we typically don't love ourselves because we have our traumas. So love yourself, work on yourself, become
Yeah.
the prize.
I agree.
Then you could find love. But if
Yeah.
you don't love someone else else? How you gonna love someone else if you don't love yourself?
Yeah, fact.
and that's
No, I agree
my
with
biggest
that.
mistake
Yeah,
that I did when
I
I was
agree with
younger.
that. I
I
can
was
agree
with
with
someone that when I didn't love myself, so I couldn't love
You
them.
thought that
to
was
the
gonna
greatest
help
of
you
it.
love yourself,
And then you create a dependency. It all depends where you're at in life, right?
That's you're right. What you just said is very important. The dependency aspect is where I think a lot of what you're saying comes into play.
Yeah.
You gotta be self-dependent. You gotta, and the level of respect that you have to move with for yourself.
But that's developed. You're not born with it.
Yeah, you're not
It's
born with it.
developed.
I don't know. I was pretty much born with it, I think.
No, but
Nah,
even
nah, I know what you're saying. I know
that,
what you're
like
saying.
even that is an old tale now, Bello. To me,
Like,
it's
fam,
an old
I
tale.
took my ex back
like a
after
girl
she
seeing a
cheated.
guy and being like,
Like,
I respect this guy
you
because
know
he's a
what I mean?
hustler. Like that's long gone, Bello. Because nowadays girls don't know who the fuck to respect. They just go
everyone's-
online and this and
everyone's
that, and this
fake.
guy's doing this guy's doing that.
Andrew Tate wouldn't agree with you.
Yeah, no
Andrew
shit.
Tate
That's what.
wouldn't agree with you.
You don't
Because,
think
yo,
Andrew Tate would say that no men
What are
are
you
be,
talking
that
about?
women are being told not to respect men
Yeah.
nowadays?
But ultimately, if you're a true fucking alpha, a woman will submit to you. A woman will
But it's very
respect you.
easy for you to say that when you've already had a woman submit to you. Is what I'm saying.
And I did it, and I did it when I was less of an alpha. So I know now that
Yeah,
if
but
I hit the
it might have
streets-
had nothing to do with being an alpha though.
And of course it did. 100%.
How do you know that?
Because that's nature, Bello. That's biology. That is, it's a
But if
natural
it's
thing
but if
that
it's nature and
happens.
biology, it would happen way more often than just you sitting at this table with this story, rather than the other three guys.
No.
here.
Is it, bro? Listen, in the moment, bro. Here's the thing. At this point, have you tried now to go and find a woman who will submit to you?
Again, I'm
Have
not
you
going
tried
out there to
that?
find a
Everything
woman.
submits,
though.
though,
Like that's not the
when
way
you're
you
a
do
G.
things. That's not the
But
way
not-
I do
not
things.
submit. Okay, but you've had women hit you up. Like, don't ask. Like,
But
Yeah, and if I'm
everything
not interested in
submits.
committing to them, why the fuck would I go on a dinner with them?
Yeah,
I don't
see,
want to commit.
How are you
gonna-
player though? You a player.
No,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's
How
not
are you
that.
gonna find out if
it's not?
but-
It's literally not
Yeah,
that.
but how do you
because-
find out? How do you find out off of a DM? You're not going to find out off the DMs. You got to have in-person conversations, in-person
yeah.
interactions. If you're not having those dinners, your percentage is zero.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
off a
but
DM,
I
no
also
girl's
have
gonna-
a lot more experience, let's say, in dating than let's say a
Average
lot of
guy,
people at
yeah.
this table.
Yeah.
So with all
Sure.
due respect,
but-
due respect, I've experienced what I had to. I've seen what I want and what I don't want, and everyone in this city is something I do not want. So
then you're looking in the wrong place,
For me to go for
then.
dinners just to have a conversation is a bit of a waste of time.
No,
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Then the pool that you're fishing in is not the right pool.
yeah.
But I've
No, I
already
agree
said
with
that.
that.
But what I'm saying to
Yeah.
you is that what happens for everyone else in Toronto? They have to leave to find
Yeah.
a woman that you're talking about.
Sure.
So
If they
you
want it
agree
that
now,
badly-
you agree now that the woman that you said is not even in this country.
Okay, listen, they're obviously here to some
Yeah,
extent. It's not
obviously.
100%.
But tell me
this
where.
isn't Joe Biden
Tell
with the
me
votes
where.
at 4
No,
a.m.
tell me where.
Definitely find
Tell me
someone. Go
where.
to church. Go to 5 different churches every week.
They're
You'll
dead.
find the
Churches
one.
are dead.
Okay, go to a mosque. You'll meet somebody there.
But,
Go to-
but this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you know what you want in life, right now I don't want a relationship.
Oh, so then perfect. And
That's why.
then
That's why
then
I'm
we
saying.
what I'm saying is
But
when you
I'm
decide,
also
when you
saying-
decide though that
Yes.
that is something that you want, I bet you're gonna find it very easily.
Because he has options.
That's also true.
Oh, because you're a fucking alpha, bro, and they feed off it. They're gonna come to you and you're gonna pick it. You're gonna say "Trr, no, yes.
Yeah,
Let me
but-
give
But
that one
why
a
is
try."
that? Because he
No.
went through what he went through and experienced different
Yeah,
women.
yeah,
than
yeah,
what
I
he
agree.
But
wanted.
again,
Yeah,
like just,
100%.
but even I'm even gonna play devil's advocate on that. Even though I agree with it, I'm gonna say even if girls throw themselves at you, those might not be the right
Yeah,
ones.
100%. But the thing is, if you have 100 of them, if you truly want to find one, you'll find one within that 100.
Yeah,
No,
I'm-
but
I'm sure you could.
the truly thing is that's where you fuck up because that's where you have people settling again. Like if I truly
No,
believe
I'm
this girl's
speaking
for
to
me,
you. I'm speaking
okay,
to you.
okay,
though.
okay. I thought you were
I'm
talking
speaking
about
to you.
general.
No, I'm speaking to you. I'm saying if you say in 5 years you're like, Ant, you know what? I'm ready to lock it down, start focusing on a family potentially, whatever.
Yeah, it's got to be our fucking model.
Yeah, sure. That's one of the things. But I'm telling you, because you've done what you've done, you move like an alpha. You're gonna have options, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna get to decide.
Yes.
That's it. Boom.
Yeah,
Welcome
yeah,
to the show.
but that's what I was saying.
100%. But to say that there's none anywhere, bro, and it's
Yeah,
like you gotta
yeah.
like
No, there
they're hard
is,
to
bro.
find.
Trust me.
They're
Trust
hard to
me,
find.
I've
but
What
found
I'm
again,
telling you though
I
is that
found
the
them.
the woman that you're describing
Are hard
is,
to find.
is
They're just
one
hard to
in
find.
like
1 in 100.
No,
1 in
1%,
5,000,
1%.
1
in
in
5,000,
6,000, something like that.
Okay. And the look, at the end of the day, I always bring it back to this. The guy that you want to be is 0.001% of humans.
100%.
So at the end of the day, we're the kind of guys that when we want
But
something,
we are the prize. That's
we,
what I'm saying.
we find
we
it,
get
we
it.
go get it.
Yeah.
So when you're in that headspace,
Yeah.
you will find it.
No, but
I'm
what
confident of
I'm
it.
telling you is that you're making it seem easy. It's not easy.
But this goes back to the Andrew Tate thing that we were speaking about before. Men got to go through a lot of shit in their life
To be a successful man.
100%. I agree with
Yes.
that. No, I agree with all that. I can agree with all that.
No, but you're over here telling me at 15 you were a fucking alpha that girls were they knew
got
what
a
the
lot of
fuck.
work.
I was moving like an alpha at the
Holy
time.
fuck. What the fuck was I doing when I was 14?
Popped out of the wombs like
This guy's the
billionaire.
alpha
You do what he
whore
wanted.
already.
I was moving like an
Slapping
alpha,
bitches
bro.
out, what the fuck are you
No,
doing?
hey,
Listen,
hey,
I was a bitch, bro. I was a beta bitch, bro. I fucking
Yeah.
took my ex back after I got cheated on. I was a bitch. I don't respect that, you know. But
It's okay, Bello.
No, but I'm a G now.
I know you are.
Guess what? You know what I'm saying?
And you move different
And I
now.
move different. But
Yeah.
that's what That's what shaped me to now. But you have to go through those traumas. And some of you, maybe you're lucky enough to never have to go through that
Yes.
shit.
No, but you go through different shit.
Yeah,
You just go through
we all
different
have our
shit.
own problems. but,
I
you know.
wish more males here could find that perfect woman that you described for them. I wish.
But if they
could,
found
'cause
it,
I feel bad.
But like,
but
yo,
can
if
I
you
say
found it
something?
right now, would you sit down and commit?
no,
Would you
me personally, no. But I know there's guys that would love
Yes.
to have someone
Yeah,
like that, and they can't find
But can
it.
I say something to those guys you're speaking about? They're not even alpha. And that's why the women don't, that's a portion of the reason why the women don't submit, because they don't move like alphas, bro. I'm not saying they're gonna have the perfect relationship, but the women don't submit.
Yeah, but
because
don't
they
you-
move
but
like
don't
Is
you-
there
alphas.
no fault of the woman here? Like every guy who can't find a woman is because he sucks. He's a beta.
No,
cuck?
that can't find that type of woman. The
Okay.
1%
That
of women that
woman,
we're
yeah.
talking about only hooks up with the 1% of men.
Here's
Do you
the
think
other
that
problem.
that percentage of women that you're talking about has shrunk since like the 70s, 60s, 50s?
Yes, and has
Okay.
and has that type of man that woman it will submit to, has that guy shrunk as well?
sure.
Yes.
Okay,
And
but-
so
but-
it's the even playing field.
But you have
at
to.
the end
You
of
have.
the day.
You're forgetting one thing too. You're
It's the
you're
even playing
forgetting.
field.
You're forgetting a huge part, and that's what women look for. You're assuming they want an alpha male when majority of women actually want a man that they can bully.
But that's not the woman you want, so it doesn't matter.
But that's majority of women.
Yeah, that's the majority of men. Guys who get bullied. The point is the dating pool is the same. The amount of women that an alpha
Actually, I
male
think
is
there's
looking
way more women. I think there's way more women than males.
No,
What do you mean?
I'm speaking
like in
no.
population.
Oh, in population,
No,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm saying the type of woman
Oh,
that
that's
an
what
alpha
women
male
would
wants
yeah.
to be with, and the alpha male that type of woman wants to be with, they've both shrunk. There's less alphas, but there's less submissive women for those alphas.
I think it depends where you go in the world.
Yeah,
too.
okay, fine. Yeah,
We're talking
I'll
If you
agree with
touch
that. Yeah, I
down,
agree
if
with
you
that.
touch
We're
down
talking
Florida,
Western
fam.
society.
If
I
you
agree
touch
with
down
that.
Florida,
If
there's
you touch
lots of
down Dubai,
alphas.
if you touch down places like
Lots of
Dubai,
alphas.
yeah, I agree with that. I guess to sum it up, you actually helped me get there. Thank you, Dean. Is that both of those have shrunk. There's less alphas and there's less women who are willing to submit to that alpha.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's hard. It's
You know
just
what's
hard.
great? The guy that is willing to like literally give up everything.
Being an alpha,
Is,
though.
but I'm saying is the guy that's finding the relationship the easiest.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah,
And you're
that's-
ruining your whole life.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
a
That's kind
yeah,
of toast.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of toasted, no?
Ruin your whole life.
So then it goes back to what you're saying, which I agree with, is men become alphas, even if it's not financially, mentally.
Yeah.
Put yourself in an alpha mentality.
Get to the gym.
first.
Yeah.
Yo, get to the gym, man.
Get to the gym, boys.
The most important thing is health. Yeah, at the beginning for sure.
Damn.
Holy fuck, Dean. Where are we at?
We're at hour and 45 minutes.
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
It doesn't feel like
Yo,
fun.
last thing.
Okay, last topic. Let's go.
I gotta talk
Fire
about
away,
this.
fire
So
away.
Trudeau went on vacation.
This guy went to go
Obviously.
back.
Everyone
Let's
knows.
go. Let's
Wait.
go.
So there's a lot of debates happening. People saying he deserves a vacation because he's human and he works, and people saying he doesn't deserve a vacation because what the fuck?
Not
did this
when
guy
it's
ever
on
do?
our money. That's the difference. Go spend it with your own money. Don't spend it with taxpayer
So
dollars.
do you think he deserves a vacation?
Well,
general?
no, he's a horrible leader.
You didn't even do your job right. How are you gonna
yeah,
get the
if
vacation
you
days?
yeah, what? You know, like if sales are down in my company, you think I'm gonna go take a vacation?
Facts.
This country is a company.
great point. That's a
right.
great
There's
point.
work. There's work.
Actually, he's
culture.
making money, so
Yo,
he's
he's
good.
chilling because
He's
he
actually
rigged
making
the
lots.
game for him and his people to
Yeah.
win. And like people think that corruption doesn't happen. Like corruption's everywhere. And if you guys heard the conversations that I heard during the pandemic about these government contracts being awarded to people and kickbacks of up to 30
Oh,
to 40 to
kickback central, bro.
50%.
Oh my
like this
God.
guy's making, these government officials are making maybe $100K a year, but they're getting 50% of a $20 million contract.
yeah.
And this stuff is happening, and you guys are all sheep. You guys don't understand that this stuff happens, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just for the best of us." But you don't understand that every single thing that they put inside of you is they're making a kickback on. It's a business. Like
Yeah.
the world runs on money, and once you understand that, then you'll start to see the corruption in Canada, and that's why I really hope the Conservatives win. For the next election here, because
They got this.
We,
I don't know, it's
they're
tough.
my last hope, and that's if
It's
they
tough.
don't win, I'm out. If they don't,
If Trudeau wins again, this
we're done.
place is
Well,
done.
Well, it's flawed here because Trudeau lost a popular vote the last two elections.
Really?
So overall, as a country, we didn't vote Trudeau in. But the problem is the main city centers that have become so infiltrated with very, very left
Propaganda,
ideologies, propaganda, whatever. They voted him in. In terms of the vacation, I mean, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
If your company's doing good, if your country's in a great economic state,
Yeah.
Bello, leave for 6 months. I don't care.
Give him the
Automate
villa.
the
Give him the
system.
villa.
I'll give him the villa, whatever he
Take
wants.
6 months. I don't give a fuck.
But our country's
when
going
we're
to
in
shit. People are
shambles,
starving. People are dying.
Yeah.
People are like,
when
they
you see
can't.
when you see regular
At the
looking
food
people
shelter.
at the food banks,
There's something
Asking
going on.
for assisted suicide.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And
how do
like,
you watch a
are you
video
gonna
of somebody
legalize
asking for
suicide
that?
in a country? Okay, there's maybe the 1% of the 1% of people that may actually let's say like they have a crazy physical issue and they're living in pain every day
Yeah.
or whatever that may be.
They're a vegetable,
I understand
whatever.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still don't think it should be legalized, but to have just people be able to go and submit and then just like say like, you know, I've felt there's times where I thought I felt suicidal when I was broke, but what if I had the option to just go do it? Would I have done it? Probably not, but some people would. because they
there are
feel so
people that
low.
would do it.
And I think like this culture of just like everything is okay. It's okay to be weak. I think we have to encourage strongness, encourage comebacks, encourage positivity, meditation. If you're depressed, they'll just give you pills. They won't tell you to meditate. They won't tell you to practice gratitude. They'll give you pills. So now they just want to start wiping people out because they want to die. Like, haven't we all wanted to die at some point? But then when you really think of it, do you really want to die? And even if you really do, I don't think it should be legal just to do it like that.
It's
If it's
crazy.
just a mental thing, I don't believe in believing in things that disempower me. Like, you know, there's a certain extent to that I believe that depression's not a real thing unless you have the chemical imbalance in your brain. And even at that point, scientifically, you could fix those things by
Mentally,
practicing
yeah.
healthy, you know, practices and stuff. But I would never believe in something that takes the power. And I'm not saying mental illness is real. There's psychotic people, dementia. My great grandma has it. It's the most saddest thing to see someone have. There is such thing as brain disease. I believe in it. But to start giving everyone and just labeling everyone with all these things, when most of it comes from lack of action, lack of success, lack of self-worth, these are all things we could figure out internally without having to be depressed and having all these excuses and bullshit.
Well, he was even talking when we spoke to Mary that time, remember?
Yeah.
When she was at Cam H.
Yeah.
Right? And she was saying the things they teach you to do: make your bed, wash your face.
What's Cam H?
Cam H is pretty much like the mental hospital on
Oh,
yeah.
So she went there. She was actually admitted there for a bunch of times, a few times. And she's like, the things they teach you there when you're mentally ill: make your bed, wash your face, take a shower, go for a walk. Like the most
little
simple
wins.
things.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, because that's what people forget to do usually, right? They're just like, they're in this fucking matrix that we're in.
and then they just
And
take
bro,
drugs
everything
and
just
become
sucks.
dependent
Yeah,
on those
everything
drugs.
just sucks, right?
Quick fixes, quick dopamine rushes. That's why, like, you know, porn is a whole other epidemic that we're battling as men
been
and
saying it.
masculinity.
I've been
About to go
saying it.
fucking
You know what I
work
mean?
one off right after
No,
this.
literally, I'm struggling with it, yo. I'm struggling with it. It's hard. It's hard. It's been a routine since a child.
I
Like,
haven't,
since I was
dude.
But you also
it's-
have a girlfriend.
Yeah. No, but hey, bro, listen, there's guys with
No,
girlfriends.
there's guys that
It's
don't
a
even
disease,
smash
guys.
their girl and they just
Yo,
jerk
we
off.
we need more awareness towards that stuff. That
Yo,
stuff is killing masculinity.
I heard a story. This is super random, but I heard a story of a guy, and I'm not gonna say names, whatever. Someone told me about a guy, and I actually know the guy that the story was about. That this guy, when he has sex with his girl, like when they make love, okay, he can't bust. So,
he's watching a
she,
porn.
no, so she comes, they stop. He goes to the bathroom, watches porn to rub it out after.
If that doesn't like,
But is she a
concern
two?
you-
What's happening?
No, but bro, you don't
'cause, dude,
understand.
'cause
It's
guys-
so deep rooted,
'cause guys,
bro.
Because
It's
porn
so
fucks
deep.
your
Porn
brain
is
up to the
so
point where it's like,
haram, bro.
you
We
need to
need
be
to
doing
cut it out.
crazy shit to bust
So
a
do
nut.
crazy shit.
No,
No.
but bro, trust me, bro. Trust.
These
bro.
guys need to see like
porn addiction's a
group
real
orgy
thing.
Wait, no, I never
fucking-
heard this one.
You never
man.
heard of it, bro?
Like guys, like
you watch
fucking
porn?
I watch porn. Yes.
How often?
Pretty good. Okay. I do good. I do well.
and you haven't found it to affect your performance
I mean,
a
like,
better
no,
anything.
we spoke about this last episode. I think there's that feeling when you bust a nut and you're just like you're like,
yeah. No. After I saw the Andrew Tate, he's like, God is watching you. He's like, imagine your face when
But
you're
okay,
just,
but now
you know
going
what I
back
mean?
to your inner self, whatever, like your
Yes,
inner voice and stuff
yes.
like that. Like, bro, after you bust one, you're just like,
Ew,
oh,
yeah.
fuck, bro.
But
Like,
that's what I mean. It's
like
it's
you like
embarrassing.
instantly, like close the fucking thing,
Fucking
throw your
break my
phone, you're
laptop in half.
Yeah, yo. And then, but like it starts off as simple stuff, and then it gets into points where it actually really starts affecting you in life and affecting your relationships and your performance and your testosterone levels. Like that, at the end of the day, sex is energy.
You can't let it. You can't let it
Listen,
affect
you
the
gotta
performance.
you also gotta be real with yourself. You know, if you're gonna watch porn your whole life and then you're finally gonna smash, make sure the broad's up there.
No, for sure.
You
but
know what
a
I
lot of
mean?
guys
If you're
don't
gonna
have
put those
options.
standards in your mind, then when you actually go perform, make sure
Yeah.
It's with someone that's up there.
No, but then dudes like start to like, then they need like a guy to smash their broad.
That's when the
cucks
comes
come in.
happens.
Okay, if you're one of those guys, just
That's from porn, though. That's
watch
from
porn.
porn.
Just
Like,
go watch porn.
That is
That's
from
from
porn.
porn, though,
I
like-
got asked one time, way
No
back in the
way.
day.
Say that again. Say it again.
I got asked one time, way
Actually, one of my boys
back
did
in the
too.
day, way back in the day, to smash this guy's girl.
in front of him.
He was, I guess he wanted to be there,
Proper.
and
Yeah,
I didn't do
you're
it
a
because I'm like,
bitch.
that's
I would have said, send me a reel.
like as much as like it's
Send me
as-
a recap.
Like that's fucked, bro. Like that's
But that's so
but that-
unalpha.
but I
That's
think
the-
I think
that's
that
the
comes from
opposite.
porn.
Yeah, that's
That
the-
comes
yeah.
from porn.
Comes from porn.
A bunch of stuff comes from porn, and like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
but
think
Tate
it's-
also says the same shit about weed, though.
Yeah, but and I agree
And I
too.
know you-
I do agree. I smoke weed, and I actually was thinking about it earlier today. Should I quit weed?
Yo,
Like,
I've
I was
been thinking about that a
but
lot.
It's so honestly,
It's so good, though.
It's just so
We're about to
blessed.
light this.
Like,
We're about to
Yeah,
light one
light
up
one
after
right
this.
after. But, you know?
Anyways, okay, listen, fuck.
Yo,
we're going
appreciate
off.
all you
Yeah.
guys.
Hold on, I want to say it again.
Yeah.
If you made it this far,
Yeah.
shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
In the comments, hit up MBH. Just say, Anth, I made it to the end, bro. And then
That's
I just want to
love.
say I love you, okay? Because
Appreciate it.
you know how many people hit me, being like, Anth, I made it to the fucking end.
I know,
bro.
I know. I seen
I'm
Sammy.
like, that's crazy.
Shout out Sam.
These are no little short things either.
Yeah,
But yo,
no,
appreciate
respect.
you all, bro.
Yeah, love you guys. Kane, appreciate you coming on.
Kane, you already know. Keep doing your thing, Dini.
Yeah, man.
Keep
Never
doing your
stop.
fucking
Never stop.
thing,
Yes,
Dini.
sir.
All right. Make sure you
sir.
like, subscribe, join the
Duties,
Discord,
Yes.
follow the boys on the gram. Stop watching porn.
Stop watching
And
porn.
we out.